Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel host Sega Forever here. Just to do a uh, quick all in chat. Maybe some of the guys jump in on the chat. We can have a conversation. But I definitely wanted to do this video. I don't know, man. The Xbox community is kind of weird right now, and I'm talking about on social media in general, and also on YouTube, of course. People that have channels that do videos and stuff like that. It's just in a weird space. Um, and shout out to the guys who joined us on the podcast we did Friday night. Every other week, guys. Just a real quick plug. Well, we do the Wrecking Crew podcast, and the purpose of that podcast is for the guys in our circle that love Xbox, that bleed green, that are pro Xbox channels. It's time. It's we use that time to get our bars off and basically discuss all the events that's going on when it comes to Xbox. I know I was a little bit more passionate than normal on Friday night, but I did have quite a few things to say about the status of Xbox, which we'll kind of touch on tonight, because I did say something in the podcast and I wanted to give it a little bit more scope as far as what I was trying to say. And basically, I was talking about the economics of gaming and the economics in general. And I think some people uh, didn't understand what I was trying to say. And that could have been my fault, because, like I said, I was a bit passionate and maybe didn't explain it in the best way possible. Um, but just to break it down for you guys really quickly, sorry about the ambient noise, guys. It's the end of the workday here. Like I said, this video is not going to be too long because I got stuff I got to do. But I had to kind of get this out there. But when it comes to the economy, or when I talk about the economy, I was talking about it in general, not just the gaming economy, which, as you guys can see, is kind of in flux. If I'm being nice, I'm not one of these people though that's painting the picture of it collapsing. It's a huge industry to a point where it's almost too big to fail, even though I think there's going to be some changes to gaming. And that doesn't bother me as much because, like I said, gaming right now is in flux, especially on the money side. What I don't want to see is for some of these companies, well, I'm going to say some of these companies, I'll just be honest with you guys, Microsoft, right? Because, like I said, I'm a pro Xbox channel. What I don't want to see Microsoft do is overcorrect. And I'm not backtracking on anything I said Friday night, and I'll expand on what I mean about the economy, right? Because as you guys know, the economy is really bad. Or if you may or may not know, the economy is really bad right now. And I'm not saying that there's people dying in the streets, even though there's a lot of people that are struggling, right? Not on a pandemic level or anything like that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys pay bills. At least a lot of you guys that listen to my podcast or follow my social media, we're all adults, right? Most of us have kids. Some of us have been gaming since the Atari generation, since the arcades first started. So I know that a lot of you guys are at that age point right now where you guys have responsibilities, or you're transferring the responsibilities to your kids, and you're prepping your kids, trying to help them survive in the upcoming world that they're going to inherit from us. But when I talk about the economy and the economy in general, it's just the reality of the situation that's happening right now across the board in every industry, and not just this country, but in countries across the world. Right? If you guys just do a little bit of research or watch a couple of news podcasts, I hate to promote the news because they're part of the problem when it comes to the economy, because they're not talking about it honestly with people, because there's a lot of politics involved when it comes to discussing the cost of everything right now. Okay. Um, Sometimes, right, things and prices rise. As we progress forward, there's organic nature to it. Sometimes it's out of greed. Sometimes it's just out of natural progression. There's a lot of different reasons why the economy rises and falls, right? But the one thing that everybody's cognizant of right now is that it seems to be artificial, right? The things that are happening with the economy. You see a lot of people with theories, right? Some might call them conspiracy theories. Some just call them theories. But the feel of that the economy is either being manipulated or stuff is happening in the economy that's outside of the ordinary, right? So why do I bring that up? Okay. Again, this is a pro gaming channel. I just want to give you guys some scope and give you guys a better idea of what I'm trying to talk about. Regardless of where you fall politically, where you are socially, where you are on the economic scale, whether you're ultra rich or you're super poor, right? A lot of you guys are feeling the effects of the economy somewhere or another. And one thing that just blows my mind that when it comes to gaming, and it's one of the things actually I do like about gamers, right? Gamers, we tend to stay. Hey, what's up, Faded Blaze? What's up, brother? Hopefully, we'll get Sega Man in here. He's working right now, but I won't be on for a long time. But thanks for being here, dude. Um, so when we look at the gaming industry as a whole, right? Gamers tend to stay in our little world, right? And we're more defensive about stuff coming into the world and kind of irritating the thing that we love. You know, most of us, like, we have jobs, we have kids, we have responsibilities, and gaming is an escape for most of us. Same thing when it comes to pop culture in general. For most people that occupy these spaces that are fans, have fandoms that treat it as a hobby, or maybe even a lifestyle like I do, because I've been doing this for so long. You guys tend to like things in your hobby or in pop culture, in gaming, all of that stuff encompassed, right? You like it to have it your way, a certain way, right? That's how normally most of us are. And right now, you see that is not the case. You have these outside forces, and I'm not gonna go down the whole rabbit hole about. I mean, we could get really deep about this. I'm going to do an all in pop podcast, and we'll focus on it during that all in podcast. What I want to talk about right now specifically is just Xbox. Um, but right now, a lot of gamers are feeling that, right? They're like, okay, why are games so expensive? Why is there's all this talk about exclusivity, non-exclusivity, all of these things, right? And for the most part, it ties back into the economy and the way the economy is, right? And like I said, the economy is at such a level that it's actually affecting gaming. It's affecting tech, which tech tends to be a little bit bulletproof to this kind of stuff, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the videos of employees who work at places like Google, work at places like Twitter and stuff like that. These guys come in, they start their day my 7:38, 9:30, whatever. They go into work. They get to get like their free scone and their coffee. Maybe some of them go to their office, do a little bit of work, then they go to a meeting, then they go to get a massage. You know, all that kind of stuff, all those perks that they're afforded, right? And look, dude, I don't hate on anybody that has that type of stuff, dude. I'm not a hater. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, 300. I don't care if you make more money than me. Okay, right? To me, it's not how much money you make. It's how you live and what you do with that money, right? But and in most of that aspects, dude, I don't get involved because it's really none of my business, right? So right now it is to the point where the economy is actually affecting gaming right now. Okay. And that's the only point I was trying to make in the podcast, right? For people to be a little bit more sober thinking, sober minded, right? Because there's so much commentary going on online with what Microsoft's doing, what they're trying to do, what they're going to do, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm all for that, guys. It's just, just don't lose your mind about it. Like I said, be a little bit sober, have some perspective, right? Like you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, which I know a lot of you guys have left me on Twitter, I don't blame you if you guys don't like the stuff that I post. But I'm just being realistic with a lot of this stuff, man. But I've been posting a lot of stuff about the economy from around the world, right? And especially, some people are saying that I have something against China. It's not that I have anything against China. What I'm trying to show you, China's experienced a full brunt of an economic downturn that started with the pandemic. I mean, it's been happening for years, right? But China's always held up as that monocle of capitalism because of its incredible growth over the last 20, 25 years. And over time, that growth is starting to slow down. And what they should have done was they should have paid attention to that. But like governments do, they get their hands on everything, they blow everything up, right? Then you had a COVID pandemic, which brought their economy to a crashing halt. And right now, these guys are experiencing a lot of what the U.S. Industrial complex experienced way back in the days in the 60s and 70s. And I'm talking about Detroit, Michigan. You guys know I'm a big Steeler fan. Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania. All of our industrial industry, especially when that stuff was shipped overseas. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. What's up, Faded? Yeah, I know a lot of people are waiting for that. And I faded. I'm just waiting for the Final Fantasy's 7 sales numbers. I saw that it wasn't looking great for them, but again, this goes into what I'm talking about right now with this topic of the economy, right? That is so overreaching that it's coming into the gaming ecosystem and the gaming economy, right? So you see these games aren't hitting numbers, right? And right now it's a really bad time, man, because it's across the board, dude. Gaming is in, like I say, gaming is in flux, and there's a lot of reasons why people can't or won't buy games, man. We have the console war, right? We have games might not be good, right? The same thing with movies, right? Same thing with television shows, right? It's across the board. Okay, so it'll be interesting what those numbers are. Is it coming out tomorrow? Do you know? I'm not sure when the numbers released. I know people are talking about it today. I don't know if those were official. I guess the sales are like 30% less, right? Which seems to be like um, what's going on with Square Enix in general with a lot of their games that they're releasing. They tend not to meet targets. I don't know if the targets they're setting are a bit too high. Not only that, but limit it to one platform per square. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the money aspect they have with Sony. If Sony's paying them enough to cover all their costs and a part of their profit, right? And then whatever they're supposed to make selling it just on PlayStation. I mean, if they're not hitting their targets, then obviously I would assume, right, that the deal isn't what they expected, right? Their expectation, especially when you have a brand like Final Fantasy, right? Which I'm told, right? This is what I'm told. Like I told you guys, man, complete honesty. I never liked the Final Fantasy series, and I didn't care for seven. I was there. I was there ground level when that thing launched, and the amount of people that went and bought that game that I knew that bought it that weren't gamers, right? But they got caught up in like the cutscenes and the commercials and all this stuff. This thing looks so awesome. It made fans of some of them, and it actually turned some people, if I'm being nice, into gamers. But the majority of the people I knew, they didn't know what was going on because they see the cutscenes, they're thinking it's like a movie. Then they play the game, and they have no idea that it was a turn-based. The way that Final Fantasy plays. And of course, you transition from the FMV to the actual game. They were like, "What is this?" And they bought that. So, I mean, that's my experience with Final Fantasy. I don't really care. Honestly, guys, I say this on Twitter, on my social media. I say this all the time that I don't really care what goes on the PlayStation side. This is why when I went on my little rant, because I just want to let everybody know where I stand when it comes to Microsoft doing what they're doing with letting the games go to other consoles, right? Like that's why I did my video. I won't go into detail here, but you guys know where I stand on that, right? For me, it's seeing like the direction Microsoft is going, and for me, looking at everything for it to make sense to me, like I was saying in my video, there's some things that I think Microsoft's going to do, and go down some paths that I'm interested to see where they're going to go. And to be honest with you guys, I have no place else to go. I'm in this ecosystem, right? I'm not going to go buy a Switch. I'm not going to go over to Nintendo. I'm not gonna be like these other fake Xbox guys, and all of a sudden buying PlayStations, right? If you weren't of us, you were not of us, kind of deal, right? You guys just weren't, and that's fine, dude. That's your life, your money, your time, right? If you wanna go, that's fine. But this is who I am. This is why I say I bleed green, man, because this is it. This is it. This is the last. This is the Alamo for me, man. This is my last stand. If Microsoft decides, to wrap it all up, I'm done with gaming. Right? Faded Blaze, they should have released the day in on PC to help. Now they're probably going to release it on all platforms. Yeah, so Faded, my theory, this is um, just my theory. Right? I do think that Microsoft capitulated to these companies, both and by company I mean Sony and Nintendo, because I think that their stuff's going to end up coming over here. That's my theory. Because to me, that makes the most sense. Right? And I'm not saying that, like I just said, guys, I don't care about Nintendo's third party. If I want to play Nintendo's third party, I don't Switch. If I don't care about first party, sorry. I don't care about Nintendo's first party or their third party deals that they make with people exclusively for their system. If I want to play their game, if it's something that I really want to play, I'll go buy a Switch. Sorry about those birds. They're everywhere. Um, I can't poison them because it's against the law here. They won't ship the poison to me, or else I will get rid of them. They're very irritating and they're very destructive. Um, but that's if I wanted to switch games, I would go buy. If I want to play Nintendo games and the third party exclusives, I would go over there. It's no big deal for me to go and buy a Switch and buy the games. If I wanted to do the same on the Sony side with PlayStation, I would do that. Right? I live in Hawaii, dude. They got PlayStations all over the place over here, right? And the games are readily available. I could do that if I wanted to, but I don't. Right? So this is the last hurrah for me. Yeah, Faded. That's a they should have released a day in on PC to help. Now they probably going to release it on platforms, right? I think that's what we're going for, in my opinion, right? And if you guys watched Sega Man, he did a podcast on one-on-one with Erock X, the Don King of Xbox, and Erock was basically talking about how exclusive matters, and I'm 100% with it. I'm 100% with what Erock said, dude. And especially for a guy like me, and I've talked about that on this channel, guys. Content does matter, right? The only thing I'm saying is we're going to go down this road. I'll let Microsoft. I want to see where they're going to go. When you have the money, when you have basically the power, because they have the backing of Microsoft. Me personally, I just think they should have ended both. Just ended everything, took over the industry, buy as many people as they can, and start dictating how this industry is moving forward. Because whether people want to admit to this or not, everything revolves around them right now, regardless of how people feel about them, whether good or bad. Right? This is some of the reasons why there's some people that left, dude. That's why I said the thrill is gone, dude. I know there's people that are sold their Xboxes, they're done. They've stepped away, right? And I can't say as I blame them, right? In a sense, right? Because number one, it's their time and their money. These dudes been in this fight for a long time, right? Microsoft decided to do what they wanted to do. They made choices, and then of course, choices have consequences, right? And so people are making their own choices based on what choices Microsoft is making. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with that. I'm just stating the reality of it, right? And that's why I named the podcast "The Thrill Is Gone" because there's definitely things have subsided, man. There's a lot of momentum on the Xbox side coming into 2024, and that seemed to be dropping off. I mean, I'm just being honest. I know other people have talked about this. I don't watch most other people's podcasts, and I just sat in the back. I wanted to just see for it myself, give it a couple days at least a week, right, to see if this is just reactionary. But no, dude, this is something that I think Microsoft actually have to pay attention to. And they roll their dice, man. They're rolling their dice. Now, who knows how it's going to turn out? Say, for example, you guys saw that it said the partnership, right? They have a partnership. Nintendo also had a partnership. Um, game show, right? And in that partnership, what happened? A lot of us knew, right? That's where they announced the Xbox games. Now, is that going to happen on when is this thing? Thursday? So, and I feel bad, right? Because I'm calling it a thing, right? I'm not disenchanted, guys. I am excited about it. I'm just trying to make a point. But Thursday they're gonna show some stuff. So, is Nintendo gonna in kind show something that's gonna be coming to Xbox, right? Are we gonna see that? I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying this is one of the avenues that I want to see if Microsoft is trying to pursue. Right? Again, like I said in my little rant that I did a couple weeks ago, all of this stuff has to make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to me if you're a big bank and then you're capitulating to some of these guys. And this goes back. Let me just wrap this up real quick, guys. This goes back to the economy thing I was talking about, because one of the things I don't think people realize is the economy is having a big effect on this. I know Microsoft is aware of that. What I don't want Microsoft to do when it comes to the economy and looking at the economy is to overcorrect, right? I think they need consoles, right? And I think they need to just keep on, like, keep their AAA, their exclusives, right? To give people a reason to buy the consoles, to stay in the ecosystem. I believe in all of that. To me, nothing's changed. And with the exception of them allowing a few games over, I don't think it has really changed. I could be wrong, right? Now, don't expect me to go Tim Dog on you guys, man. I don't do that, dude. I wouldn't do it. I don't do that just for personal things, man. I mean, dude, if I you'll never see me like that. You know when I'm done with Xbox, because I'll just walk away. You'll never hear from me. I promise you guys that much. And I'm saying I'm going to do that, but I'm definitely not going to lose my mind and act like a jilted lover, right? Or like a husband whose wife divorced or cheated on him and then divorced him. Okay, that's not how I work. When I'm done with something, I'm done. So you guys don't have to worry about seeing that from me on full display, no less. You've been an Xbox guy all this time. I still have respect for Tim Dog, dude, because he put in the good fight and stuff like that. But again, on the flip side, right, then it all comes right back around when I'm like, dude, you survived far worse than this. But like I said, people are leaving because they are getting tired of it. Right? And this has been happening for since 2013, right? Some people have been stronger than others, right? But I mean, in fairness, dude, when all of this stuff happened with the third party, who cares about the ponies? And the ponies, they're funny to me because if there's any people that should not be saying anything right now, it's them, right? Just for the simple fact that, you know, they're of all the companies in trouble, they're number one on the list, not Microsoft and not Nintendo. It is the ponies. So they just should learn a little bit of humility, see how all this stuff plays out, because they could be third party by next year. I'm just being honest. So that's the last people that should be talking trash about all this stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't want Microsoft to. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I do not want Microsoft to overcorrect, right? Because I feel that the economy is affecting gaming. It's not that the gaming is failing; it's just the economy is bad. So hopefully, if things get better, right? Hopefully, we'll see how 2024 goes. But if things can stabilize, right, you get some people with common sense in these positions of power, right? Like I said, I'm not going to get too political, right? But some cheap gas, getting food costs down, um, dealing with certain issues in this country, can turn all this stuff around. Hopefully, I don't know. We could be too far gone. But if okay, just to keep it short, right, focused. If you can just get it to the point where the economy recovers, then Microsoft can be there, right? Because I don't think people are like tired of. It's like when you hear people say that there's superhero fatigue when it comes to movies. It's not superhero fatigue, man. It's sucky movie fatigue, right? When you have fatigue of something, it's like chocolate, right? Somebody can be fatigued on chocolate because chocolate's delicious. I know I eat way too much of it, right? I love chocolate, right? And it's just like you have chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, chocolate ice cream, some Oreo cookies with the chocolate filling, right? And you love chocolate, but then it's just too much. You've had enough, and you're like, you know what? I'm done. You're tired of it. That's what the fatigue is, right? That's real fatigue. What you're having in movies, especially superhero movies, is just crappy movies. People that can't write, can't direct, they don't know how to produce a movie in time under budget. You see some of that in gaming, right? But that's a far cry from what's happening. That's far cry from reality. And that's what I'm trying to make the correlation for you guys is the outside economy is affecting the gaming economy. If the outside economy recovers the way it should, right, then you're going to have people with more disposable income, right? Now there's going to be, I don't know. I will say this though. Um, there's definitely people made some lifestyle choices, right? Like how they spend their money. That could have long term effects. So that could hurt the industry too. I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But say the economy corrects, like self corrects, like it's supposed to. People have disposable money, and then they want to come back to buying, and then a lot of them are going to get back into gaming and stuff like that. My point is, Microsoft with Xbox needs to be right there, right, to carry on this torch that they've been carrying this whole time to meet the consumer where they're at, whether it's in their ecosystem, whether it's on hardware, right, whether it's on cloud, this kind of stuff. And I'm tired of hearing about the FTC, man. If I was, just like Microsoft, dude, come on, dude. Just, 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 just crush it already, dude. It's getting old. Xbox Insider, you're not going to be on Mooch's show? No, I don't really talk to Mooch. I think you're being sarcastic. If so, that's a good one. Yeah, I listened to Mooch a long time ago, but I picked that dude as a dude, bro, from the jump. And I'm a little more hardcore than that. Faded Blaze, check out the channel GameStone Nightmare. He said the same thing you said. The new Final Fantasy remake is not a traditional turn-based RPG. Really? It's not? I thought it was. Like I said, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. Yeah, look, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be honest with you guys, dude. I have a bias because I just hated Final Fantasy because I like Shining Force. I love Shining Force. I shouldn't say I hate Final Fantasy. It just never appealed to me anyway. But I had a friend that loved Final Fantasy, and it was kind of cool what he would do because he's a videographer. So he would play the game and he would capture all the cutscenes. Too bad I didn't have YouTube back then, man. His channel would have been huge. But he used to bring it to work and show everybody whether we wanted to watch it or not. But it was pretty cool. I got to see some of the spells. And I thought the round was cool. I mean, the thing was like 30 minutes long. Or some crap like that, dude. We were like, dude, watching on our lunch break. We're like, oh man, I gotta go get some lunch. Dude, you took half an hour. I don't know. I don't think it was half an hour. It was a long time. It was impressive though. I'm not gonna lie, but I ain't gonna lie too. I mean, he's my friend, dude. I watched it because he loved it. But he recorded everything. He beat the game in like a weekend. He beat all the Final Fantasies within a weekend, dude. That's how much he loved that game. Yeah. So thanks for the heads up, man. Like I said, Fade. I don't know anything. Yeah, maybe we might get an announcement. Right? Square Enix seems to want to play ball with Microsoft. That should help all the people clamoring for JRPGs on the Xbox. I don't know. I'm playing what's that? Arise? Something Arise. That game's pretty cool. I got a ton of stuff to play, man. I still haven't played my Attack on Titan. Dude, I gotta finish what's the one we got? Scarlet Nexus. Dude, I'm all good on I'm all dude. What's it? Melodies of Fuga. I got a ton of stuff actually. We have a bunch of games on Xbox. I mean, they're multi-platform games and stuff like that, but still, you're not starving. So you think Starfield and all the big Xbox games are going to PS5 and Nintendo? I don't think so. I don't think so. Xbox Insider, just for the simple fact that they need. I don't think they're going third party. The reason why people are saying this is that they're saying Xbox is going third party. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty. I wouldn't believe it because it, like I said, it doesn't make sense to me. You need stuff for your ecosystem. There's a reason. I've used this as an example. I'll say it again. There's a reason why you won't see Netflix shows on HBO, HBO shows on or Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I don't know. I shouldn't say HBO because HBO aren't they done? You might see the shows. I'm talking about competitors on other competitor stuff on that level. Like if Stranger Things went to Amazon, stuff like that. Yeah, Microsoft and this is, but that's a good question, man, because a lot of people are questioning this right now, right? And that's why you see, um, I don't know, man, Microsoft they lost a little bit of their mojo. I'm not gonna lie, Then this is you see Dead Island 2 get dropped. I would like to think that that was something they were planning, but it could be something they did just because of the bad press and the negativity they were getting. Um, and then what else did they do? There's something else they did. Oh yeah, Sarah Bond talked about Diablo. Is it Diablo? Yeah, Diablo 4 next month. And then we have another preview partnership. Now, I tend to be of the idea that this stuff when they do it, it's usually made with it has to be planned out and stuff like that. So I don't think it's a reactionary thing, right? But when you have these things happening and then your community is not too sure of the direction, right? And it's just hammered. Media is just hammering people. I don't care about the media. That's why it doesn't affect me. I'm not. I mean, I'm actually looking for the day that all of these guys are AI bots at this point. And as bad as AI is, I'll take that over what we have because I think it'd be an improvement. That's how much. That's what I think of gaming media. To be honest with you, Nintendo pissed me off with that emulator lawsuit. Yeah, I saw a lot. I saw that too, dude. A lot of people are mad about that. But isn't that so Nintendo? You know what I mean? For them to do that, not surprising at all. Faded out. But you know what I mean? When you can do that kind of stuff when you're Nintendo, you just can't. Like Sony, Sony can do whatever it wants. It gets away with it. And I've been telling people I'm numb. And numb not in like a bad way, just numb to when you see this happen millions of times because what tends to happen when this stuff when for a lot of these guys who support these companies, right, is the boomerang effect, right? When it comes back and gets them, right? Like you saw what Sony did with raising the prices. It affected the entire industry. Right? And that's because they're the media and their sycophant fans won't hold them accountable, yet they're quick to call us Xbox. This is why I love the Xbox moniker because I think it's actually it's just other fanboys, namely ponies, using projection. That's what I think that's all about. I've been gaming on the new Retroid Pocket 4. Oh, what is that? Hey, welcome, Pepe. I'm not sure what that is, dude. Can you let me know? Been playing old school games on it. Is that a portable? The only problem I have, that's why I'm not really excited. I mean, I'm excited for other people. Like, they want the Xbox, Microsoft to be a portable, but it won't matter to me because I can't play portable. Like, I can't even, I gotta like, when I use my phone, I gotta limit the time I look at my phone. or I got to be in a position where I'm not tilted over looking at my phone because I have like neck problems and shoulder problems, nerve damage, stuff like that. So being in that position, and already my job is I do a lot of admin work now, so mostly budgeting and stuff like that. But it's admin work nonetheless. So I spend a lot of time in front of the screens, computers, everything's ergo, right? But still, yeah. So handheld is out of the question for me. It's one of the reasons I sold my Switch, but I was holding on to the Switch because I like Animal Crossing. But me and my daughter were so disappointed with the new game. I sold my Switch. That was years ago, by the way. Thanks for being here, Pepe. Yeah, I mean, just to quickly say, like, I love old school games too. I got that service that launched on Microsoft. Unfortunately, it's streaming and it doesn't work well where I live. But if it did, man, I'll be playing that all the time. Xbox Insider. MS just got the biggest money maker publisher. They're still in the driver's seat. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I know why people act the way they do when it comes to Microsoft, but it's the fan base, right? That tends to um, the reactions of the fan base tend to throw me off sometimes. Because you would think they would be cognizant of the fact that Microsoft has so much money and that they pretty much own everybody. I think if it wasn't for the FTC, we'd already have other studios. But again, I don't know why they fear the FTC. The FTC is a joke. Regulatory agencies for the government are a joke, man. They don't fill the purpose that they're supposed to fill. This is why the country's so jacked up right now, dude. They focus on stupid crap that has nothing to do with their job. Trying to defend the consumers who will benefit from these purchases, right? Because of Game Pass, giving people options. This is why gamers are just like flabbergasted by the entire trial. Because they're like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, it's the government. It never makes sense. I've been like this for a long time, guys. I've had people come at me like, "Oh, you're red pilled." I'm like, dude, I ain't red pilled, dude. The example I like to use is like, dude, I didn't come into the Matrix. I was born there. You know, when they let Neo go, right? When he took the red pill, then he found out what the truth was. But then they had those two brothers that were actually born in Zion. They called it whatever, where they were born in the Matrix. Yeah, that's me. I was already here. I occupy that space, dude. I didn't know. I didn't need to take no pill to know that these guys are incompetent and they don't have the best your best interest at heart, especially if you're a consumer, because that's what they're supposed to be focusing on, the consumer. And there's nothing more consumer friendly than Game Pass, right? And you have a lot of people up there saying, "No, Game Pass, so and so didn't do well." So, dude, Game Pass is not there to pick winners and losers. Game Pass is there to give people opportunity, both gamers and publishers and developers, right, across the board, right? Because Microsoft's seen the way things are going. Dude, if you have a gaming industry that doesn't sell games, you're in trouble. All of this is coming, like, and again, to go back to the economy thing, you're seeing this, and it's happening fast now, right? Because you're seeing it happening uh, live because it's happening. It's just like how a fire starts off as a little spark, and then it just spreads really quickly. Some wind comes in and just carries it all over the place. That's how fast it spreads, and you're car off guard. That's what's happening to the gaming industry right now. It's not like they didn't know, right? But they knew it was going to happen. They didn't think it was going to be this bad. And like I said on Twitter earlier, or X or whatever we call it, you know, a lot of these dudes voted for this crap. So I can't. I try and be sympathetic, but it's hard. But yeah, I agree. Xbox Insider, 100%. Do you know Mobile Warzone is coming out on 3/21? It's a moneymaker. This is the foundation. Nothing has changed. The game plan is still the same. Yeah, thanks, Xbox Insider. Thank you for saying that. I 100% agree. I guess I'm not trying. I'm trying not to be negative. It's just what I'm seeing on social media right now. There is a little bit of a look. Microsoft has lost some of its mojo. I'm just being honest, right? And I've known people that have left, dude. And of course, we all know about Tim Dog because he reminds us every day, right? I'm like, dude, just go. At some point, I'm like, bro, just leave. Then I mean, no hate towards him, right? But I'm like, dude, he tells you every day, which means there might be some hope for the guy, right? I see him coming back, dude. And like I said, look, guys, I understand on principle. I understand some of us who bleed green, man. We're like, nah, screw these dudes. I just come from it from the. This is just my thing. You can take it. You don't have to agree with me. I just put this out there real fast, dude. It's like as long as you buy a system and as long as you have a Game Pass subscription, you're fine. I'm fine with you because I'm not gonna. It's not like I talk to them now anyway. I don't know who you are. I don't really need to know you. right? Maybe we'll play some game online together. Doubt it, because I live all the way in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and my time zone don't cross with most. But what it is that you're contributing to the ecosystem that helps me, right? That helps all of us. So let's just keep it that way. Keep it strictly professional. Shake of hands, gentlemen. Let's be gentlemen about it. Shake our hands and then walk away and move on. Yeah, that's gonna be. I can't wait for that to, just like when COD finally comes into Game Pass. Those will be the shifts in the gaming industry that will remind people who Microsoft is. I know a lot of people was telling me, "Oh man, you're just a shill." I'm like, what is it about being a shill, dude? How I benefit from this, right? If you don't want to be a part of this, then buy. You don't have to be this. You can hate Microsoft. I ain't telling you not to hate them. I'm not telling you to buy 5 PlayStations, which you guys don't. But I'm not telling you to buy. You can't play Spider Man. Go have fun, dude. Like that's why a lot of us Xbox guys say, "Why are you here?" Because I don't go to their side. To be honest, the reason Microsoft is moving the way it's moving because the FTC is still in the shadows of the APG. Yeah, I understand faded, but I, Microsoft needs to just. I would just go to war with these dudes, man. They are totally incompetent. If that trial showed you one thing, man. I mean, across the board, they were taking L's, and whatever. I don't know what political side everybody's on, but on both sides, everybody was just smacking them around because they know it's a joke, dude. These dudes are a joke. All they are is a mouthpiece for the government to control people and control industry because they want to be the one in power. It has nothing to do with us, nothing to do with gaming. As you can tell, they don't even know what gaming really is, right? You know, and Sony danced with the devil, and look what happened with them. Like that was poetic justice right there, dude. I hope they get sued into oblivion. They deserve it for being traitors to the industry. But that's Sony for you, man. They do what's always in their best interest. Don't buy into pony narratives alone. Yeah, yeah. I that's the last thing I do. In fact, I mean, that's why I always say they have their own set of problems, and why they continue to focus on Microsoft and Xbox is beyond me because of any company that going third party, they're the biggest. Like I say, if I see a Sony game start coming to Game Pass, it will not surprise me one bit. Just like on Thursday, if there's an announcement because of the partnership, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it happens, right? Say something, and I know people will say this is ridiculous. I'm just using this as an example. Say something like Pikmin 4. I think that's a game that released last year. Given the games that Microsoft gave Nintendo, what if Pikmin 4 comes over to Game Pass? Right? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying if that something like that happens, I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's not surprising. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, don't worry, it's Xbox inside. I don't follow the. If anything, if people see me, I usually go against the grain. That's why I have so many people unfollow me and unfriend me. That's why, guys, I don't have to block anybody on social media. They block me. That's how it normally works. So, Tool Man, what's up? Yeah, what's up, Tool Man? Just doing a quick one. I was trying to stay on board as long for as long as I can. So Sega Man wanted to jump in, but I do have to go pick up my daughter. So, but thanks for being here, brother. Faded Blaze, I'm glad Sweet Baby Ink is getting exposed. Yeah, dude. Look, consulting on stuff is one thing, right? But they're ideological, right? And the one thing I can't stand about people like that, no matter what your ideology is that if you believe in something, do put it up there for the world to see. Let people judge. Don't do it from behind the scenes, right? Let people judge for themselves, right? And there are a lot of reasons why, because this kind of stuff is endemic of what's happening in comics and in movies. They're trying to do this to anime now and getting shut down because Japan don't care. Right? Japan will do it. Japan could do this stuff. Show they do it in some of their stuff, man. They have characters like that. But they'll do it the way they want to do it. They don't want anybody coming and telling them. And I hope they never lose that. Because I can make a choice too, right? I don't support that type of lifestyle, right? But if that's what they do, then I have the choice of not buying it or watching it. I can step away from it, right? And that's the point, right? With a lot of this stuff, dude. And again, going back to the FTC, all the stuff that's happening in pop culture in general, there's the people that they're not of us, dude. They're not gamers. They're not pop culture enthusiasts, dude. They don't read comic books. They don't watch anime, right? They're into it now. I mean, they might watch an episode. They might because it's a safe space for a lot of people, right? If you guys were like me growing up as a nerd, dude, it wasn't cool to be that way. So you had your own community, and that community has built a foundation, has grown over time, and they've been allowed to come into this community, right? But they're destroying it. I don't know how else to tell people that. Right? When I tell people that, they're like, it's some right wing nut job. I'm like, okay, regardless if I was some right wing nut job, right? Is this the truth or not the truth? Right? Do you see these guys influencing your game to the point where it doesn't make sense? The story doesn't make sense. The characters don't make sense. Your favorite character ends up missing because of whatever representation these guys want. You know, Disney did a movie called Moana. If you guys didn't know, I'm Hawaiian. Right? I live in Hawaii. I'm Hawaiian. And they did this show called movie called Moana. I don't know if you guys watched it. So one of the things people thought is that Moana is Hawaiian. It's a Hawaiian animated for Hawaiian for the culture of Hawaii. Right? That's what a lot of people thought because a lot of people, especially in the U.S., right, they know Hawaii is the 50th state. Right? There's Hawaiians and stuff like that, right? But it's actually, if you listen to Disney, and even The Rock said this, Dwayne Johnson talked about it, is they didn't say it was a Hawaiian because they know The Rock's from Hawaii. And The Rock's not even Hawaiian. The Rock is actually Samoan and African American. That's The Rock's background. But he grew up here, right? And he loves the islands, right? Because the way Hawaii is. Like Jason Momoa is like Hawaiian, right? Anyway, my point is, right? There's like people are like, oh, they assume that it's Hawaiian. I'm like, no. So what Disney did was they said it was South Pacific Islands, so that they could encompass all of Polynesia, right? Because Polynesian is you get Hawaiian, you get Tongan, you get Samoan, you get Tahitian, you get all these different um, groups of people, right? And even to go as far as they look like they had like Micronesia and Melanesia also races included because there's a lot of different customs, right? That were all kind of shown, and that was the goal of the movie, right? To show a little bit of everything, right? So to me, that's like they're trying to keep it as 100% as possible, but they also wants the flexibility of being a Disney movie, right? Right? You know, the singing, the animation, the water was cool, right? The songs are pretty cool, even though I think Coco had better songs. Just being honest, I like Coco better. But right. So they have all this stuff, and the reason why they do that is so they have a little bit of flexibility, right? So that they can tell their story, which is a Disney animated story with songs. That's what Disney animation is supposed to be, right? But a lot of times now you see them making animation now, and it has an ideological bent, which actually takes away from what Disney is, right? And then you hear them saying stuff like, "Well, we wanted to try something different, right? Well, we wanted the audience, we do this a lot, so we wanted to give the audience something different, just maybe excite them, maybe pull in some new people to come watch their stuff. But at their core, right, Disney, you expect certain things from Disney. I'm not saying that you can't push the envelope or switch it up or any kind of stuff like this, but what they ended up doing was just going the route of just hammering basically ideology down your throat. Because a lot of the people that's running this stuff, they don't have any talent. I'm just being honest. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 R/R is a DMC knockoff. It's born to me. Really? I actually like Devil May Cry though. Which is awkward. Like that's the way I am because the way I like to play games. Like I like JRPGs. I don't have a problem with turn based, but I rather play action RPGs. That's why what is it called? Something Rising. Gosh, I can't believe it's in Game Pass. They just put it in Game Pass. I actually bought the game though, and I finally got around to playing it because it was in Game Pass. But you guys know which one I'm talking about. It just came out like last month. But it's more of an action RPG type style. I like those more, if I'm being honest. So I can play turn based. I have no problem with it. That's funny though. I might actually. That actually sounds interesting to me. I don't know anything about the world. So, hey, what's up, Fireboss? Yeah, just doing a quick little all-in chat. The podcast was awesome. We didn't get a chance to address the chat. The chat was fire. So I'm trying to do that right now with this podcast. Trying to hang on as long as I can for Sega Man. Hopefully it'll bounce in. Xbox Insider. Too bad the gaming media bias doesn't pay their bills. It would matter. Yeah, it would. I don't know, dude. I think given everything that's going on with the economy, these guys are getting like, they're not getting that money rolling in with sponsorships and stuff like that, or the advertising and how they used to make their money off of the advertising. And you see that across the board, right? YouTube, Google. These guys were untouchable. It's not the case anymore. They finally got to actually do stuff on their own merit And if we're basing it on merit, these guys are done. I'm just being honest, bro. These guys are over, man. Like I said, I would take bad AI over these dudes. That's how bad they are. Because I have to I have an easier time sifting through all the stuff AI would come up with, right? Because at its core, AI is not it's kind of limited. Right, but with these dudes, man, these dudes is all over the place, man. That's why I don't pay attention to them. But they do have this web of influence, right? And their stuff is used as cannon fodder for console warring. Even though people want to say no, we don't want console warring. Console warring does not exist. Yeah, it does. Okay, Pepe, thanks. Yeah, I kind of figured, but I didn't want to assume. What games? What games? I love old arcade games, man. I'd love to get like Moon Patrol and Popeye, Berserk, games like that. Joust, Tron, Super Pac-Man. Dude, I used to spend a lot of time in the arcades. Dude, if spending time in arcades was a career, dude, I'd be the CEO. I'd be retiring right now. Retiring to my yacht in the Bahamas. There's reviews of retro pocket phones. Okay, I'll go look it up, man. I'll go check it out. I'll let the brothers know too, cause He bought and Sega, man, dude, they're old school. I mean, I could probably play a handheld, but I just wouldn't matter because I would like to use it on the go, number one. But then if you're on the go, you look down. At least at home, like when I'm using my phone, I can kind of lay down and then put the phone up and do it that way. I just gotta be wary of my neck, man. Because if that nerve gets pinched, dude, I'm OOC, man. I'm out of commission. That's not bad. That's what happens when you get old, dude. Don't get old. Want to see it in action? Yeah, yeah. I'll go check it out, dude. I'll go check it out. I'll go check it out tonight. I got some time. I just gotta pick up my daughter, guys. Xbox is like in the last show, DS sounded so dejected when nothing really has changed. Well, I mean, it's just. I understand why, brother. I understand why, dude. It's just the constant, and it's the constant drumming of everything, dude. It, Dea. Remember now, Dea came from the PC side, and that's why she credits. I believe It was Game Pass and the content that brought her over. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak wrongly of it, but I know she came over from the PC side, right? And she's an Xbox now. She does both, right? But she has a console, and so I can understand. I'd hate for her to for anything to deter that. Um, but yeah, I mean, if some things have changed, it's just that Microsoft's messaging, right? I'm just so used to it. Like I'm used to Microsoft talking this way, and I understand in some. For the most part, I understand why they do it. But at some point, they're gonna have to deal with this Xbox Insider. They're gonna have to. What I'm thinking they're gonna do is later on this year, the positives will put all of this stuff in the past. That's the way I'm looking at it. If I'm being honest. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm not an insider, guys. I'm not. Don't get your. I'm just saying if something from Nintendo comes over, I mentioned Pikmin 4 because I love Pikmin. That's my favorite, one of my favorite Nintendo games. Is Pikmin. That's why I use that as an example. But if an older Nintendo game comes over to Xbox Game Pass, then you see, right? I think a lot of people then begin to realize, oh, okay, this is what Microsoft. If that's what they're planning, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. Again, this is the stuff that goes in my head that makes sense to me. Why they're doing what they're doing, right? Because if they want to share their stuff, it would make sense to me, that they would have that in return on a somewhat same level. Because the stuff that went over from the Microsoft side, I mean, to me, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think the biggest thing was probably Grounded and Sea of Thieves, right? I love Grounded. Sea of Thieves, I just couldn't get into. It definitely feels a game to me that you have to play something. Grounded, you can still play by yourself. Grounded, I like because I just like to build stuff. I like open worlds where you just sim worlds where you just build things, collect stuff like that. I love those kind of games. That's why I'm playing a game like Coral Island. Love that game, right? What's the other game I'm playing? Valheim. I'm playing that. Only problem I have with Valheim, like I said, it feels like a PC port. I use a controller, guys. So, um, but that's what I'm looking at, Insider. I'm looking at the positives to far outweigh what's going on right now. So I'm waiting. I'm on a wait and see. uh, I'm taking a wait and see attitude. And again, like I said earlier, I'm in the ecosystem, dude. This is it. I'm not gonna go anywhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to stick with Xbox until I'm done gaming. Xbox Insider, Pikmin 4 on Game Pass would rock. Yeah, I think it would. I think it would make the most sense, right? It's one of those games that would feel natural on Game Pass. Like if nobody knows that that game was a Nintendo game, and then they just fired up their Game Pass because there's a lot of normies out there. Fire up the Game Pass and it's Pikmin 4, they would be like, "Oh wow, what game is this?" And they start playing it, and it would feel like nothing. Right? And possibly even buy it. I don't know what that's. I don't want to. I don't know what all of that's going to would entail. Who knows with Microsoft? Yeah, it just blows my mind because Microsoft could buy both Sony and Nintendo. Thanks. They could just buy both of those guys. So I'm trying to be nice here, but yeah, I think that would be awesome. I think it matches. It'd be cool if they got a game like F-Zero, like the one Sega did back in the day. I love that game. I'm sure my bias, guys. I love. That's one of the best. I love F-Zero but that's my favorite F-Zero. When Sega worked on it, dude, they had it down. That game was awesome. So what happens if when Microsoft buys Sega, which I still think is going to happen, um, and then you can get access to those libraries because they built these bridges. I don't want to go too far on the limb because I can go down. I can get crazy with this stuff, you guys. Like I said, this is just me. This is my thoughts and opinions, right? Nobody. I didn't get this from nobody. I didn't watch anybody else's video. I don't have any insider. Right? I'm not on a one-on-one basis with Phil. We don't play Diablo together where he gives me the download. Okay, this is just me thinking out loud. You might like the Final Fantasy R games. It's heavy action-based combat. Well, okay. I know I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know which one. I think I have 15. The one that everybody said was a boy band. They look like a Korean boy band. The characters in there. I know the concept of it. I think I got it from my daughter. That time. I mean, my daughter listens to K-pop. She's not as heavy as she was into K-pop like she was before. It's just because we live in Hawaii, dude. It's just a cultural thing too. I have a lot of Japanese influence here, and then for the last couple of years, man. For me, dude, I'm all up in the K dramas. I'm addicted to that. And I just listened to K-pop back in the day, and then I let my kids listen to it because it's pop. It's poppy. It's sugar coated. It's kind of funny when they have these scandals in K-pop, and then my kids see that and they have these scandals in K-pop, and like, damn, I'm like, oh, dude, that's nothing compared to the scandals we have in America. Right? Like all this news leaking about the music industry in America. Here in America, dude, they're all selling their souls to the devil. America don't mess around, dude. I know, in K-pop, it's like, oh, did you hear so and so is dating so and so? And that's like a taboo because the companies, you basically work for a company, and they have these strict rules that they want you to abide by. So if somebody steps outside over there, they're like, oh, did you hear this? And it's a big deal. Meanwhile, over here at the Grammys, they're like worshiping Satan. These dudes over here worshiping the devil. I'll tell you, man, I listen to some of this music. I wouldn't be surprised if they signed a contract because their music is trash. I know I'm old, guys, but I'm like, I just don't. It would not surprise me one bit. And you know what I'm talking about? It's like two different ends of the spectrum there. Um, yeah, so that's why. So I got that game. I was actually supposed to play. I think it's multiplayer, right? I'll play whatever game, like if my kids want to play with me. Right, but I've missed that window of opportunity. Had it with my kids when we were younger. That's why I was hoping they'd bring back Skylanders, man. That's a game we played. We all love that game. Yeah, but my kids are older now. They do stuff with their friends, so I'll be flying solo a lot. But I mean, if my daughter was like, or my son was like, "Hey, Dad, you want to play this game?" If they finally said that, they're supposed to play Halo with me, but they're busy, right? Anything from Atari 2600 to newer stuff. Yeah, oh man, that's awesome, dude. I bought the Atari anniversary thingy that they had on sale. I didn't even do that, and I bought it on sale. I would have bought a regular price. I just didn't know about it, dude. That's how out of the loop I am. And I think that's if we're gonna talk about problems that Microsoft or Xbox has, that's one of them. They have so much stuff, dude, that things are getting lost in the mix. I try and use the list. I try and do the wish list. I try and do the list that happens when you select the game, and then try and do some stuff on the bottom. Or when they have these suggested stuff. I picked up games because of that. Or now they have that ID at Xbox sale. Some of the games I had no idea existed. I looked at a couple trailers. I bought a couple games, and I got it on a sale price. But I feel bad because I'm like, I would have paid full price for this. Sometimes I'm not lying, guys. Sometimes what I'll do, if I like the game so much, I'll pay full price for it. This is why I don't buy my game sometimes right away on Game Pass. I want to really try it out, and then once it does, I'll wait for it to drop out of Game Pass and pay full price. I did that with a couple of games, and I think I'm not the only one doing that. That's why I don't worry about Game Pass, guys. Right? I think at its core level, the expectations from Game Pass from Microsoft was low, and I'm not saying like low as in bad, right? They're very realistic. If you want a example, it's like when they did Xbox Live, right? And then when they did Xbox Live, it exceeded their expectations. This is why you see Phil and Sarah so happy about Game Pass because it exceeded their expectations. And you have developers. I know a couple people have come on and said it didn't really work out for them, right? I think it was a lot easier when there wasn't as much content because you got more of the space, right? And you got people all eyes on you, and people are willing to try out more. What's happening right now is the gaming space is getting inundated. So I don't know how Microsoft's going to traverse that. And again, guys, I'll bring this up, and I'm bringing up all podcasts, right? Is you're also having to deal with the economy as it is now, where people don't have that disposable income. When people are when people have disposable income, when the economy is super good and everything's firing on all systems, right? People tend to be a lot more liberal with their money. Now, again, if things starts going bad, prices going up, people can't afford certain things like paying their bills becomes a necessity, and they start cutting services. This is why you see Game Pass. In my opinion, this is why Game Pass has slowed in growth. Not because people don't are not interested in it, but because people can't afford it right now. They're living on a budget. Not everybody, but the majority, right? Right. And you feel it, dude. You feel it like when you go to a McDonald's, and even though the at least where I am, the combo meals are like $12, $15, right? Depending on which one you get, right? And the line is still long. The drive-through is ridiculous, right? Because maybe you need something to eat, your kids are hungry, you want to get something, but the line is still ridiculous. Then if you park and you go inside the store, you see that there's either kiosks, they don't have as much help, right? That's how they're dealing with their cost when it comes to operating a business, right? It's all, dude. It's all synergy, man. It's symbiotic. Right? Maybe I see this because I'm Hawaiian, dude. That's a Hawaiian thing. Like we live on an island with very few natural resources, so whatever you grow, whatever you plant, there's a time, there's a season for everything. One of the big things I know my grandmother raised me, man. That's what she taught me. Only take what you need, right? Because you got to preserve for everybody else and future generation. It's a very tribal society, right? And then some days you just have, sometimes the fish not running and you're wondering why. Right? This was back in the day when they didn't have all this technology, right? Or one of the wells go dry. You didn't have the technology to dig. Right? Volcano decides to explode. There goes your crops. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's being real, right? Now we live in modernity, right? So you don't have as much of these. That stuff seems like a thing of the past, but that's still the system we operate in, right? We don't do the barter thing anymore, right? We exchange goods and services for paper, right? But it still has the same principles, right? You go into a McDonald's, things are going to be slower if they don't have as many lines open. Right? You see all the people there, and you wonder, oh, why? Like when you go to a Costco or Sam's, at least where I live, I go to Costco or Sam's, dude. You go into the food, the line is backed up all the way to the entrance, right? That's like half the building. People waiting in line to get a hot dog and a pizza because it's affordable, right? And they only have two windows open when they have four or five, right? You're standing in line going, dude, why don't they just open up another thing? The line will move faster, or open all of them. The line will be moving faster. But what you don't know, right? Unless you think about this kind of stuff, is that that's labor cost. And then when a law passes and then you got to pay $20 for minimum wage, I'm just saying, guys, it's cause and effect too. Right? There are a bunch different retro emulation handhelds and console systems that play game systems ROMs. Oh, okay. I'll go check it out, dude. Definitely. I know that because Hebot does that kind of stuff. Dude. It's pretty cool actually. What happened? The trail is gone. Oh, what's up, Mike Johnson? What happened? The trail is gone. What's that, bro? Oh, Let me know, brother. Let me know. But oh, I see what you're saying. The thrill is gone. I'm sorry, bro. My bad. My bad. I'm not tracking. No, it's just what I noticed. Right. Me personally, I've been kind of tracking that for a while now. I know a couple people that have left the community. Right. Um, I won't throw people's names out there, but I'm saying, these are the people that buy your controllers. These are the people that order your elite controllers. These are the people that buy the elite controller, even if the two, even though they had a problem with the one. Right? Like the average consumer won't deal with as much um, of issues as a fan and as a hardcore gamer, especially a Microsoft bleed green kind of guy, is going to deal with when it comes to some of the issues that Microsoft has. And in all fairness, Xbox have been knocking it out of the park, in my opinion, when it comes to content, variety, price point, power. Right? It's actually it should be the dominant console, but everybody's focused on console sales. Me personally, I think it's the dominant console and that they're in the number one spot because they suck up all the air in the room when it comes to gaming. And then you see all these companies start imitating them. It's across the board, but you can't convince the media or ponies about it. So no sense in trying. But that's all I mean by that. I don't mean that in a like to be negative, right? But it's just the reality of it, right? You just Microsoft made a choice that people didn't agree with. Um, I think they rolled the dice thinking that people would still stick with them, and they are. Like I said, I won't leave. This is it for me, right? They have me in lockstep, but I don't think. I think they might have not realized the consequences of their actions. I guess that's the best way I can put it. Now the long term effect, it's too early to tell. Like I said, I think if certain things happen, Microsoft will more than able to recover from it, especially some of the things that I see or that I think personally is going to happen. And again, one of the examples is if we have this partnership program, like how Nintendo have their partnership program and got games. If we have I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if we have a partnership program this Thursday and then something like Pikmin 4 comes to Game Pass. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Dude, what a crappy news cycle with Xbox, dude. I was looking for Xbox videos to watch because I
Yeah,
watched all the bars already, right? All the guys that we
yeah.
had. And I'm looking at what I have on offer, dude, and there's like Destin. Who else I like? Chaos Lounge is okay. I don't agree with him all the time.
Yeah,
Um, I think On Point for Games puts up. There's the circle is very small, brother.
yeah. Very, very small, man.
The pickings are slim, as we used to say when I was
Slim,
growing up.
yeah, slim pickings, right?
Slim pickings, brother. How you doing, man?
What's going on with you, man? What's up?
Maybe I put the wrong title. I think people might be thinking, "Oh no, we're gonna lose Xbox all in."
Oh,
Subscribers on the edge. No, that's not what this thing is about. I'm just noticing like trends on social media when it comes to Xbox, man. There's a bit of a negativity, man, and Xbox has kind of lost a little bit of its mojo. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I think Hebot said that there should be probably some damage control tomorrow when they have that show. That
Is it tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow or Thursday. I think or something like that. He said when they have the meet and greet show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the meet and greet.
Yeah, like where they all get together, like
Oh,
and
the
and
partnership. Yeah, yeah,
the partnership. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think that's the sixth.
Is it the 6th?
Yeah, that's the funny thing about Xbox when they do this stuff, right? They're like, because people are like, do it right away, or they're like, oh, we'll do it next week. But they are on the cycle. They are on their own kind of cycle. It makes sense if you look at the way they released stuff before.
Yeah, they said people will probably, they're going to try to nitpick at that. I said, yeah, more than likely, yes, they will. So, I mean, we'll see. You know what I mean? It's always something, man. With these dudes, man, it's crazy. It keeps us talking. It keeps us going, man. You
Well,
know?
I know when the third party talked, and then it took a little bit, but man, the media just went off full on blitz like they normally do. And
Yeah.
that's why I seen a couple. I know a couple dudes that I know dropped. They're like, I'm done. Walked away.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh
don't want to
wow.
say names because I know people know these dudes. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like I can understand why, right? Because it gets tiring after a while, right?
Oh yeah. It does. It does. It can get tiring.
Yeah,
It can get tiring.
because it's a never-ending cycle, right? And at some point, I think these guys felt. This is me reading into their thoughts and stuff, right? But I think at some
Yeah.
point they felt that Microsoft this time, right? They got it right. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they're ready. You know, they're doing all the right things. And then when they made the announcement that they did, right? I think it took a lot of them back, especially when they did that presentation, man. That was grade A Microsoft across the board, man. They didn't. They were letting people know like how they would with their. I think that's what hurt some people. Like you know how they do their own shows. Microsoft has that quality
Yeah.
with their stuff, right? They that was on display, full display. So I think it hit people kind of the wrong way. Like, oh, this is real. You know, this could really be happening. All these games could be coming over. I'm not saying, guys. I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying is you could read the reactions. You can. I'm pretty good about reading between the lines. And it was all out there in the Xbox community for you to see. So
Yeah. We got brother Sega Forever, man. We got a lot to look forward to. I mean, we got Hellblade. It's right around the corner. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Hellblade's right around the corner. We got a lot of games. We got a lot of games coming, man. Like I'm playing Dead Island too right now. It's really kicking my ass. I can't get off this one board with this zombie looking half. He looks like he's half zombie, like alien, like I don't
Mhm.
know, like it's really weird looking dude. But what I noticed in this new Dead Island is they didn't make these zombies easy for you to just smash and beat up. These zombies they whip your ass.
Yeah. So
The
I think
AI is more intelligent in this for them. Yeah,
I think they're really pushing the multiplayer. That's one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that upscale, man, that uptick on the difficulty level,
yeah, man.
is unforgiving.
It's unbelievable. I think I'm halfway or almost done with it. I think,
Mhm.
but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Brother Sega Forever. Good graphics. It's pretty cool. The world you're in, the sandbox you're in, is pretty cool. It's pretty good. They did a decent job. They actually did a decent job with it. A lot more puzzle solving kind of in it, but it's pretty good. The puzzle solving is real tricky in it too. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff you have to do in it.
Yeah,
But besides that, it's pretty good. It's not bad.
I could see. I got as far as the hotel.
Yeah,
Um, I can see why it did take them a while because you can tell they're really up. I mean, they put. I can tell they put a lot more into this game, like you said.
yeah, oh yeah,
They wanted to make it more challenging. I know they definitely want people to spend a lot of time in it. You
yeah,
know, and like I said, they have multiplayer aspirations. Um, it's just crazy, man. It's just we talk about the money aspect of it, but time is also a factor for a lot of us.
oh yeah.
And I know you were talking a little bit about that. I believe you were talking about that in the podcast, right?
It's when you work, when you work too. I mean, like in the morning, I'll play. Like in the morning when I get up, I have to get my coffee. I only have one cup a day, and I'll play for a little while, a few hours, and that's it. Then the rest of the day I'm getting ready for work and putting and doing things and stuff like that, man. So yeah, I get to play for a little bit in the morning, but unless I'm off, it seems when I'm off too, I won't play. It's weird because when I'm off, I'll play, but I won't play as much as I should because there's other things you want to do too,
Right, 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 right.
besides just stay home for 8 hours and play your Xbox. I ain't saying I ain't never played like, I don't know, 5 hours maybe, but I
Yeah,
won't do like an all day, like through the day into the night or something. There's people that can do that, bro. I can't do that. I have to be doing something else, man. Besides that, and then there's a big backlog, brother. Huge backlog I gotta go to do. It's crazy.
no, hundred
I can,
percent. I'm in the same boat.
yeah, man. What are you playing right now?
I'm playing. I jumped back on COD because I was trying to unlock this skin, man, and it was nuts, dude. Because to get to this skin, it's almost like they're doing it on purpose. Um,
Really?
well, I'm just trying to get. I just want this one skin, right?
Yeah,
But I've been putting in so much time because I haven't really been playing it on that level.
yeah,
Um, I just been playing it out of just something to play, have fun with it. but I'm actually wanting to get to this one skin, and I put in some time, dude. So that kind of sucked me in. What's that one game, Arising? It was a JRPG. It just came into Game Pass. I bought it actually when it came out.
What's it called?
Something Arising.
I think Unlimited might be playing that. I think he was telling me about that.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I've been playing Valheim. I've been playing off and on Coral Island.
Okay.
I fell off of Warhammer. Been
Yeah.
playing Potato. And there's 2 to 3 other games I'm playing, but I can't hit it off the top of my head.
Is that the Warhammer that Brother he bought once, or is that one coming out?
No, that hasn't come out yet. Yeah, he wants the
Okay.
single player. I'm playing the multiplayer, Dark Tide.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I love the other games that they have in that vein. And I think we got like Bolt, right? Bolt Gun or Warhammer Bolt Gun coming out.
Yeah, I think that's the one that he really wants to play. The one you just said.
Well, so the Bolt Gun, I want to try because I want to see if I'm going to get sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because if there's some games like I can't play the new Doom, man. I get really sick when I try to play.
Oh, Dune? Really?
Yeah. Oh no, Doom. You know the gun.
Oh, okay.
The new Doom game that came out.
Yeah.
When did it come out? Like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. Did you say Dune?
No, Doom. Doom.
Oh, Doom. Yeah. You get sick playing it?
I get nauseous. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Fireboss. There we go. Tales of Arise. Thank you, Fireboss.
It's very fast paced. That's why it's very fast paced game. When you're jumping around like with the demons and trying to kill the demons and stuff, it's challenging too because they're on your ass. You know what I mean? When you get into a part where there's all the demons and shit and the creatures and stuff you have to fight, they're really on your ass. You got to keep moving because if you don't, they're gonna fuck you up and kill you.
Tales of Arise. Is that what you're talking about?
No, Doom.
Oh, Doom. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, they stay on your ass, and if you don't, like, if you can like try to hide a little bit because they'll try to look for you, but most of the time they're on your ass because some of them fly around and shit, and they try to kill you quick. You have to keep moving. You just have to keep moving and shooting. You know what I mean? It's fast paced. I like it. I beat the first one. But that newer one with the DLC that came out, no, I'm like halfway through it because they made it more challenging. It's more challenging, man. Yeah, not easy, bro.
And I figured that too because I constantly that's why I get sick. I get motion sickness, I guess. I don't know, dude. My daughter's like, Dad, stop playing because you don't look too good. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's okay. Some people get like when people play those what's that one called that one roller coaster game where you built shit and it blows up or something like that? That one roller coaster, something park or something?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The ones like that. You know what I used to play was addicted to? Mm-hmm. It was called Thrillville.
Yeah, Thrillville. Yeah.
On 360 and the OG. You can actually play it back and pat. The OG one. And I used to build all kind of like roller coasters and make everybody sick. It'd come off throwing up and shit. Yeah. Making like 4 laser loops. They come off all sick. They go, yeah. I put their hands up like they had a good time, and then they start throwing up. It's crazy, man.
That was a part of the fun of the game, right?
Yeah, because you get to build all these roller coasters, and then there's video games inside the game.
Oh, nice.
like old school like shoot 'em ups and different weird like stuff like that. They try to make ones that look like Tetris, ones that look like ship shoot 'em ups and different things like that. You can like build arcades inside of Thrillville and play them like their own games they made up that resemble games we grew up playing with, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, good times, man.
Thanks, yeah, man.
Insider said do zombie mode if you're trying to get season XP. Yeah, I figured that, Insider. I actually, because when I got to that one part and the difficulty kind of amped a little bit, I was like, oh, you know what? I did skip some fights. I didn't fight every single zombie, so I was like, I'll probably gotta go back and just like fight multiple. Just keep on fighting zombies until I level up.
What game is that, dude?
Dead Island.
Dead Island, yeah, man. Zombies. Yeah, it's. You remember the first one? I beat those, brother Sega Forever. I did beat
Hmm.
The old ones. I did. I beat them, but I don't know. They were long. I mean, the boards were long. It was long. It felt long, but I did manage to beat them. But this one is just, man. I mean, there's this one thing that keeps fucking me up. You have to fight him on a couple boards, and there's this one zombie that screams. This lady, like a
Uh-huh.
lady zombie, and she screams, and when she screams, more zombies come out. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
got to blow her up and beat her up because you get a rage mode. You can get a rage mode where you can rip them to shreds and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
you got to use your cards right. You get those upgraded cards, to upgrade your character and different things like that. But I like the game. It's just that I'm like, man, let me go back to it. So now I'm playing the old school game I bought. It's a remake or rehash of remember the game called 13.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that right now. I beat it on a 360, but I bought the one on here because it was on good sale. Like I think it was like $8 or something like that. But I said, let me play this for a while, then I'll go back to Dead Island. So I've been playing 13. They
Oh,
remastered it. They made it look better. It looks a little better. It's shell shaded. That looks better for the next gen systems. But I used to love 13, bro. I used to play it online with friends, like this
hmm.
dude from France. He was a
Hmm.
cool dude, and a couple dudes from here. We had a good old time playing that online. 13, man.
Yeah, it looks
Good
cool.
times. Good times back on the 360 days, man. You know?
That's funny. I think that's what people want to go back to, right?
Yeah.
So, or
Yeah, man.
looking to relive those old days, and Microsoft or Xbox, I think they're on the
Yeah.
cusp of that, man. I think it's like ex insider, and you talk about. I think 2024 still. I mean, things really haven't changed. I mean, the curveball was the announcement, right, of games going to other consoles.
Yeah.
Right? That was the only curveball. Um,
Yeah, we really capitalized on that, Brother Sega Forever. They're still sticking by what they say. They're still sticking by saying, they believe Phil Spencer is still lying, that more of our games are gonna come over there. Some of them dudes are still sticking by that, man. It's unbelievable how these guys just are so in denial. Sega Forever. It's crazy. These guys, this generation of gamers are so in denial, bro. It's crazy. It's real crazy, man. They still don't believe Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty when they did that talk, man. It's really crazy, bro. I'm like, dude, the games are not coming over there. Just get over it. There's no, you know, there's no theory or anything. They're not coming over. You just gonna have to get an Xbox.
yeah, I think that's all for okay. So you have two, right? You have the guys that just want Xbox to die, so they're never gonna change their tune. But I understand, like you talk about like Tom Warren and all
Yeah,
these dudes, or even Tim Dog, man. He's like, I know people and stuff like that. I was like you might know somebody, but I already know what Phil said, and that's what I'm gonna roll with.
they're
You know,
really beating on him. They're
he's
really beating on Tim Dog, bro. They're beating all up on him, bro. He's just,
but
I don't know.
he's still, dude. Like it blows my mind. I look at him, I was like, dude, just like he went the total opposite way, man. It's just like um
Yeah,
if you like say like you were a Steeler fan and you hated the Browns as you should,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden I see you like we don't see each other in 5 years, then you show up with a Ravens uniform, I'll be like, oh yo, dude, what's up? What happened? And you'd be like, bro, screw the
Yeah.
Steelers. Steelers suck, man. I never liked Chuck Noll. The the curtain was overrated. Joe Green sucked. They should take him out. It's like that, dude. I'll be like, dude, who are you, man? Who is this
Yeah,
dude?
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They just, I don't know, man. I mean, Tim Dog is just, they're beating all up on him, bro. I mean, you have like some of these podcasts out here that are trying to, I don't know. I guess they're trying to like give him some, save him and stuff. I don't know, man. Some of these podcasts out here, man, they just, you know, Tim Dog just, I mean, he's been out here for a long time, man, and then they had to renege on stuff they said. You remember they had to do that. They had to go back and backtrack some stuff that they said after that came out with that. You know what I mean? And I
oh,
think, like you said, Sega Forever, they want Xbox to to fail so bad. They want them to go away. That's the main thing. They just don't. Just say what you mean. If you're gonna have a big platform,
Mhm.
and stop beating around the bush. Stop thinking we're stupid. We're not stupid. You just want Xbox to go away. Just say you want Xbox to go away. All right. Be a man. Say it
Mhm.
with your chest. Don't lie like a little bitch and say it like you got a bra on. You know what I mean? Just say with your chest. Say you want Xbox to go away. Just say it. Look at E-Rock. E-Rock will tell you from his chest, I want PlayStation to go away.
Oh yeah, I'm the
You know what I
same.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, even you, brother Sega, forever. You don't like sugarcoat anything. These guys try to sugarcoat stuff. Well, it's not really that. It's just that. No, just say you want it to go away. Because that's what you want. You want Xbox to go away because they're beating Sony's ass. They are. It's too bad. It's time to move on. It's a new day now. What's that song? It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new day now, man. It's not the old days of Sony anymore. Those days are long gone. Long gone. This new dude, you heard him. Oh yeah, I wanna put stuff on PC. The new CEO over there. He's like, yeah, I want to put our games on there and put them as where else we can and stuff like that. You're gonna see a lot more games going on Sony games. I think, brother, say if ever that's gonna go on PC, man.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if. I actually think, dude. I mean, they're gonna go third party. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And like in the way that Sega did.
Yep. I think so. I think so too. I mean, it might take a little bit more time, and you'll get people out there that'll be mad at us saying it. But look, just face the truth. They're probably gonna go third party, man. It's just, I mean, it's nothing to get all upset and mad about. It's not like you can't still. That's what I mean. Sega forever. It's
Mhm.
not like you still can. If you're a Sony fan and you go, it's not like you still can't play their games. If you like Sony and you like their games, you shouldn't worry about if they go to a third party if they can't make it. You know what I mean? I mean, what else are they going to do? I mean, what else are they going to do? You either sink or swim. What you want to do?
Well, you saw that Embracer had some problems, right?
Yeah.
And oh, he's serious, dude. This dude is gonna turn on. Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
This dude decided to like cut his yard at 6 at night. All right.
He's doing it late. He's doing it late night. He's cutting the grass late.
I don't know what they're doing, bro. Got a bunch of tweakers around here. We call them tweakers. I call them tweakers around here. But
Look, dudes down here cut their grass in the rain, bro.
oh, okay.
I've
Where
heard the
we,
lawnmowers. Believe it or not,
yeah.
I shit you not, say it forever. One couple times in the summer, bro. If it starts to rain and it's light raining,
Yeah.
you'll hear dudes out there cutting their grass in the rain, bro. I'm like, man, it's raining. Don't cut your grass in the rain. What are you doing, man? And they'll be out there doing that here in PA in Pittsburgh, bro. That's what they do. They'll cut their grass in the rain. They just want to get it done, or they waited too long because they're lazy, and then they decide to cut it when it starts to rain. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah, cut the grass when it rains, really, man?
Well, it's wintertime here, so it's cooler. So I
Yeah,
could see like if it was summertime, right? Because when it gets hot here, right? You
yeah,
don't. It's easy. What most people do is do it first thing in the morning,
yeah,
right? Because that's the sun's not totally up yet. You're not gonna die, especially if you're
yeah.
not used to the sun. Or the other time they do it is at nighttime. But it's cool now. It's like it's this is our winter months. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I should say cold to you. I know that cold to you is that this is probably like warm weather to you. But,
Well, it was actually warmer today. It was what was it today? I think it was 70 something. It was a little bit warmer today, but it's going to go back down. That's the thing.
right.
PA's weather goes up and down. It makes you sick. It's that up and down weather: cold, rainy, sunny, warm, cold, rainy, sunny, warm, cold, snow, like that.
Yeah, does snow. It's cold
You
snow.
know? Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
you
you.
guys have seasons and stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know what a season is anymore.
Yeah, north be tearing you up, bro.
Oh, I believe it.
North will tear you up because it gets so damn cold, and then Next thing you know, pop in. There's a nice warm day, then back to cold. That's that shit that makes you sick. All that weather that makes you sick. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
What's
believe it.
up, the realist?
Yeah, what's up, realist? What's up, Fireboss and Mike
Fire
Johnson?
boss in the house.
Yeah, sorry, Mike Johnson. I got you. I got what you meant. Said what happened? The thrill is gone. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have named it something else, dude. I'm not trying to click you.
They get that BB King song going, huh? Singing for
Yeah, I
me,
think that's what it
the thrill is
was.
gone, man.
My son be playing jazz sometimes, so he's in a jazz band. So
Oh, really?
yeah, dude. Dude, he was like listening to Stevie Wonder, like '70s Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's
I'm
like,
a,
Dad, he's like,
that's cool. That's cool.
well, but he's like, Dad, you know what this is? I'm like, looked at him, I'm like, dude, he's just like, oh, well, my son doesn't know. He's like, oh, okay. And then I seen what his list. I was like, oh, dude, I think that's probably I told him it's probably one of the top.
That's like my kids, man. They like this new, like they like the new stuff, like the I don't know, I can't understand this new rap and R&B. They like that stuff, but they like, my daughter likes that, but she likes Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, a lot of the Gen Z
Yeah,
guys are listening to the older stuff.
yeah.
Um,
She's gonna go see Stevie Nicks in concert. She's coming here, I think, in July or something. My wife's
ooh,
taking
just
my
just don't get your expectations high. You know, her voice a little bit rough now.
yeah, yeah. You know, she was. I didn't know she was a bad. She was on drugs. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, all of them were. Fucking.
Yeah, I didn't
Didn't
know
he
that.
tell you the story about Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
No, I was really naive. I'm not saying like I just didn't. I read Doctor Strange and I just was enamored by it because I used to be
Yeah,
like, how did he come up with all this stuff, man? This is amazing. Like it's like another. Like when you watch the movie, right? Some of that when they have those different dimensions and stuff.
yeah.
And I was just blown away by it. And then when I got older, dude, and I watched one of the guys in an interview. He goes, "Oh yeah, dude, we're all on drugs." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh man, that totally ruined it for me." I was like, "Yeah, see, never meet," or how they say, "Never meet your heroes."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never watch their interviews either.
Oh, these kids are, these kids are something else, man. They walk around with our old music that we used to listen to, like the T-shirts. Like this kid that this place I work, she had on a Tupac shirt. I said, you know who that is? No. I said, why are you wearing it? Because it's cool. Everybody's wearing different ones. She didn't know nothing about Pac. She just liked the shirt because it's the style. Or they'll wear the rock shirts because it's just the style, but they don't know nothing about the groups. You know what I mean? It's weird, man.
Well,
They just like it because it's in style. You know?
it's that generational shift that we're experiencing. Right?
Yeah.
That it doesn't surprise me because we've the culture's been around long enough for this to happen. I guess that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
do you want to join me on Friday, dude? I'm gonna do a podcast.
Yeah, I'll come on Friday too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna do a podcast. We'll just talk about pop culture stuff. I wanted to start doing that.
Yeah, that'd
I've been
be
watching
cool.
a couple of shows and stuff.
Yeah, that'd
Uh,
be real cool. Yeah.
we can talk about it then too. But
I'll
yeah,
be
we can
real
talk about
cool.
like the younger generation is interesting.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
just they're something else, man. You know what, I try to.
you're talking
I'm real
about Z, though,
friendly.
right? You're talking about Gen
Yeah,
Z. Yeah.
yeah, I'm real friendly to them because today these kids go through a lot of shit. They really do, and I'm always nice to them. I always say hi to them. What's up? How you doing, little brother? Like I try to adapt to them some because they go through a lot. They go through a lot. I mean, we went through shit, but these kids today, man, they go through a lot of shit, bro.
I'll be honest with you, they fixing to go through some really
Yeah,
bad stuff. If things
man.
are going the way that they're going.
Yeah, I feel sorry for some of these kids,
Yeah,
brother
yeah.
Sega
I mean,
Forever, bro. Really do.
they're inheriting they're inheriting something less than what we got. Just
Yeah,
they're trying to be
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. But you're telling the truth. It's the truth, bro. It's like,
Mhm.
I hope I look at them and I'll say hello, and I think in my head, I hope that you keep your head on the swivel. Just keep it straight. Don't end up in like jail or dead in a ditch, because that's what usually happens to some of these kids, man. You know.
Well, I think they're going to be I think for a majority of them, they're the generation that's going to be forced to kind of make their own path, lead the way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that we grew up with, most of it's gone, man. It's gone, and all you're getting now is kind of a rehash of certain
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
hopefully these guys will be strong enough to step up and then forge their own path.
Hope so.
Yeah, because I mean, like one of the things I was telling my son graduates this year. So I said, "Oh, look, man, we might want to look at the Air Force for him.
Yeah.
He's a really smart kid, right? So I'm like, baby, look at the Air Force, man.
That might be nice.
Nip this in the bud, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, if stuff goes south, right, and then I don't know if you keep up with, I'm prior military.
Yeah. I have a lot of family. Brother Sega forever. My cousin Jr. He actually retired from the Navy. He became a recruiter, and
Oh, nice.
He retired from the Navy. My grandfather was in the Navy. My aunt that passed away a year or two ago, she was in the Army. My
Right.
uncle was in the Army. So yeah, I have a lot of family members that actually were in the military. Yeah,
Um,
Army, Navy.
yeah. So, I was just I was like looking at my son. I was like, hey, just lay this out there for you, right?
Yeah,
We kind of cut it off at the pass, enlist, try officer program, but you know, so that you can pick your own poison in a sense,
yeah, yeah.
right? So robotics or something technical, because a lot of these kids, man, like I said, if things go south, they face the prospect of a possible a draft
Oh
pick,
yeah.
and then you don't have any choice, right?
A lot of these kids won't go. A lot of these kids, if something happens, that dude that's in office, he's going to try to draft them. Mom ain't going to go. And I'm saying no. Fuck that. I ain't fighting for you. I'm
Well,
hearing that's what they're going to do. They're going to say and do. You know what I mean?
I mean, I know for the army, I believe they raised the recruitment age to 40, which was a bad sign.
Oh
Um,
really?
yeah, I'm prior military, though I got a disability.
Yeah.
So, but if things got bad, dude, they would reinstate a lot of stuff would change, right? They would go, you have what we have basically two theaters of operation going on right now, possible third.
Yeah.
Um, and they're going to need people. So,
What do you think, though, Brother Sega Forever? I know we're a little bit off topic, but
no,
I don't think these kids are going. I honestly don't think these kids will. I mean, I don't think these kids, if they were to draft for some kind of, I don't think they're gonna. I think they'll say, "Fuck you, I'm not doing shit. I'm not going and doing shit." I can hear them saying, I can feel them saying that, man. I'm not fighting no fucking war. I'm not gonna do this shit. That's some of their mentalities is like that, man. Not all of them, but
well, I think it's the majority. Like I agree with you. I feel bad for them because it's not. They really didn't have a choice, right?
yeah,
This is built by the generation before them. You saw my video when I talked about this group, right?
yeah.
They begin with an M and end in millennial. Yeah, they're not. They're, they're the reason why all of this stuff is happening. So it's
Yeah, man.
unfortunate, because that's my son and daughter generation, and they're gonna have to clean up the mess. Either they're gonna
Yeah,
clean it up or they're gonna add to it. Either way.
yep,
Um,
yeah,
but it is a big ask for them, right? To say, hey, this is going on. Sorry, you can't get your games on time. Sorry, the industry's going out of business. But by the way, here you go.
yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
like Call of Duty? Well, we got something for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's you want. You love virtual reality? Just, come step on up. Sign on the dotted line. We got you covered. Right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it. I just, it's that laugh to keep them crying kind of thing. Because it is sad. I feel for them. I do. Because it's the reality, one of the realities that they face. But who knows? It's like earlier,
Yeah,
just to get back on topic, sorry, but that's what I was talking about earlier, dude. With the economy, I didn't want it. I know I did the podcast on Saturday. I didn't want people to misconstrue what I was saying, right? I
yeah,
think the economy is bad, but I don't want Microsoft to overcompensate for the economy, because if things happen like they normally happen, the economy should correct itself, and I want Microsoft to be ready. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
by ready, I mean be ready for physical. You know how they reached out to limited run games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be ready hardware, right? They said that they're going to come up with a new hardware. Um, hardware front, I think they could expand on that. I guess they
Yeah.
had like a SpongeBob SquarePants special
Uh,
console. Did you see that?
Series X,
Yeah.
Series S, X. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that. It's shaped just like him. Yeah. I've seen that.
So I don't think they will. I think they're prepared. You know, because they kind of got caught flat-footed, right, when the pandemic hit, because they didn't
Yeah.
have the consoles at that right point in time when people were looking to buy. You know, they just wanted to buy something, right? And
Yeah.
so if you would have had an Xbox there, which they did, the people bought it, right? But imagine if they would have had it in full force. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want them to overcorrect, thinking that because if to me like you got to be prepared. Like if this thing swings back, you got to be there to meet the consumer, which is what they say all the time, right?
Yeah.
We want to meet the consumer where they are, you know, all of that. So
Mm.
that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I feel like they need to be ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you
Definitely.
look at what
Definitely.
happened. You look at what happened to Embracer, right?
Yeah.
From what I'm reading about Tencent, it's really rough in China right now because the government's cracking down on video gaming.
Hmm.
They have this movement in China called Lie Flat, and you know how you're talking about Gen Z here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's their kind of movement going on in China. These guys don't want to participate in the economy. They want to participate in anything because it's hard for them right now, right? They got no
Hmm.
jobs, they got no future, no money, all of that stuff. So they have this thing to just lie flat, right? So they stay with their parents, live with their parents. It's interesting because it's counterculture to the way they are, right? But that's how bad the economy is there. Anyway, my point being is, if I'm not mistaken, the government in China is actually cracking down on video gaming, and
Oh.
Tencent, one of the yeah. So I've been trying to find out like a little bit more solid about what's going on with Tencent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so if you take out Embrace and it matters to me because if you take out Embrace and you take out Tencent, then Microsoft kind of stands alone.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Which might not bode well. That's the only thing I see that might not bode well for them when it comes to acquiring stuff. Um, I
I
think
don't
that
think they're done. I think they're going to be acquiring more. I don't think they're done.
I honestly think they would have acquired more if it wasn't for everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft saw. I said this earlier. I think Microsoft saw the economy and the way it is. I don't think they realized, it just got kicked into high gear, right? And I think that
Yeah.
caught everybody off guard, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I think that Microsoft is really just they're changing the game. You have to they're changing the game, man. You have to keep up, bro. I mean, some people might not like it, but they're changing the game, man. I mean, it's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, and I want them to personally. They need to be the number one. I mean, in every aspect, they need to be the
Yeah.
industry. How about that? That sounds that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
They are the industry. They suck all the air out of the room, right? They need to
Yeah.
be in the sense of they should be whatever they do. People tend to follow anyway. So
Hmm.
and then whatever missteps they make, that's fine, right? Because they can recover.
Yep.
And the only
Yep.
people that'll say stuff are, you have fans that'll be like that'll keep them in check, but then they have their share of haters, right? These guys aren't gonna go away anytime soon. There'll be less of them for sure, though.
Yeah.
Realist said the Chinese government is trying to take power from businesses. All of my Chinese stock fell. Yeah, it was. They were doing it in increments. Realist, right? They did it to the foreign companies, and then they did it to their own companies because they wanted everything to shift to the state run businesses, right? This is why communism is bad. And what it is power and control, right? And this is why they're having problem with their own people right now because once you taste middle class, dude, you don't want to go back. You could have pulled this back in the day when you were offering them security, and then some dude was making like 85 cents an hour, right? When they didn't know any better, but you've allowed because you wanted to be on par. I'll just be honest with you guys. They wanted to replace. They still do. They want to replace America as the hegemon of the Pacific region and eventually the world. right? That the only problem with China is they have this warped view of what America is because they believe their government. Let me be specific. Their government believes their own BS, right? So they kind of have the bizarro type of opinion of how America is. So
Huh.
what's happening is that they realize that their their power is fading because people are becoming more independent. When you don't have to rely on the government and you have independent, right? You're making money and stuff like that. It's all tied in, right? But then these guys are getting a taste of what capitalism is basically, right? And
Mhm.
the government realized that's bad, right? And they try to take power, but then now they have to react because of COVID, shut everything down. Then the foreign investors pulled out, right? And now they're trying to recalculate it, but I think they're done. They're done. I was in a class for this stuff, and we were talking about this, and I thought they were a bigger threat than what they were, and I actually wrote
Mhm.
this. I wrote about them being a paper tiger because they don't create anything.
Yeah.
Everything
What?
worth any type of value is made in the West. I'm not just
Yeah.
saying specifically in America, but in the West in general. Made. Now they have the industrial, they have the people power. Like Sega Man, I'm sure you know, right? I remember that when I was younger,
What's that? What's that?
when our industries collapsed,
Yeah.
steel, car, right? Everything went overseas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. But then China is experiencing that now with their country, but now everybody's going to Vietnam and India and Mexico, strangely enough.
Mexico.
Yep, south of the border. So much so that China's actually following them to Mexico so that they can still maintain.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of that to do with the pandemic, right? When the supply lines died, that's what you're dealing with when the prices went up. The bad
Mhm.
thing about with the prices now is that the scary part is that people won't let it come back down. You feel me? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
that one greedy person in the background that wants that Big Mac instead of being $5 what a Big Mac should be. Right now, there's that one greedy person that wants it at $10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's the pangs of economy that we're going to be dealing with shortly. Sorry, Gen Z. Yeah, I'm not laughing to be mean. I really do mean that. Trust me, man. Me and Second Man. We should be Gen X. Are we Gen X, right?
We're Gen X. Yeah.
Yeah, we're Gen X. Yeah. So we're the dudes. Like I didn't see my grandma. My grandma walked all the time. I had to clean the house, cook all the food, do everything myself. Off to school, right?
You know, oh, yo, second forever, man. I went into my grocery store down here called Aldi's, right? I was
Yeah.
shopping, and they had the old school sea monkeys, bro. And I actually grown
Oh,
them right now, man.
see, that's that nostalgia, man. It'll get you.
Yeah, there's a big ass one. You know how they're supposed to look small? I can actually see one in there swimming around without looking through the magnifier. He's pretty big.
Did this thing come from
The,
China, brother? You better
the
watch
sea
out.
monkey.
You better see where this was made.
Yeah, man. People are like, "Oh man, I remember those." I'm like, "Yeah, man. I'm real nostalgia. I mean, I'm down with the times, but there's people that don't even know about the sea monkey thing. They don't even know about that.
Yeah, we're
You know
kind
what
of
I mean?
removed now. Like I saw a good meme where somebody said 1990 was 30 years ago, and the person like, no, it wasn't. And they're like, like they realized that they were old. 'Cause we already there. We already there, dude. We 70s babies, so
Oh man, yeah, yeah, man.
good times, man. I seen one dude. He got ratioed on X when he was talking about how ridiculous. Like he said, I feel sorry if I grew up in the 80s because the stuff is absolute crap. Of course, this guy's a young guy, right? But, yeah, you can have
Yeah,
your opinion, bro. But I'm laughing because I'm like, dude, but you wouldn't have any of this stuff if it wasn't for this stuff that came before.
it's true.
Yeah. Ah, realistic. I still want a chia pet. Yeah, bro.
Chia pets are, people used to clown. Remember, people used to clown chia pets. Chia pets are actually cool, bro. They're all right. It's
Yeah.
old school. It,
Yeah.
it, it it's cool. You can buy. Remember, you can buy different ones. You can buy dude. You can grow a chia pet afro
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and different ones. There were different. Wasn't there like a SpongeBob one? I think there was a Bart Simpson one or something. They made different ones. They
I didn't
made
know.
different ones.
I think
Yeah, I
Bart
think.
could sell it.
But they did. They made different different types of the Chia Pet things, man. They did. I think one was because when like a cart like SpongeBob got really 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 popular, and I think they did make a SpongeBob one. I think.
What is that? What was the chia pet? What was that stuff? Was it grass?
Yeah, yeah, it's some kind of like solution that you have to put on it. Looks like grass, right? Wet. You put it all over the top of the chia pet, and it grows. I think it's like some kind of wheat grass or something like that. Yeah,
Dude, I
you
would
know,
bring that back, but
plant,
then do it
plant.
with yeah, do it with sprouts, so that you can
Yeah,
like cultivate it and eat them.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Get that,
Yeah,
you
if I
get
could do
that.
it with sprouts, that's actually a good idea. That would be cool.
Oh, realize that sea monkeys are popular.
Yeah, man. There's a bunch of them at Aldi's, bro. And I was like, oh wow, sea monkeys. Let me pick one up. I think it was like $10 or something, and then you just follow, what you have to do to make them grow and stuff like that. And I was like, man, let me get this. I did it one time before, and I had
Mhm.
them growing, and they just kept growing. And I want to get a Venus flytrap. I like those.
Oh yeah, those are cool, man.
Yeah,
They never seem to work though. You know what I mean?
yeah. The
It have
ones
to be
I
like a
had,
house fly or something. If I was a fly from outside, they'd never catch that thing.
nope, because their mouths stay open, and there's like this solution slime stuff that's in their mouth, and it catches little bugs and things like that. But these ones they got today, I don't know what they're doing. They're not. I don't know if they're mass producted production or something like that. They're really. I don't know. They're really flimsy and like fragile. Like they die real quick. You know what I mean? It's not like the older ones that looked and were made like a little better. I don't.
Those
It's
are-
weird, man. But you can get them. You can get them.
it's funny because back then, right, you didn't have the regulations we have now. Yeah, some of the toys we had, they were evil, man. Like Shrink a Dink, and or that one used to cook in the. My sister had that. If she had an easy bake oven, man, it probably could have burned the house down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shrinky Dinks. What's the one? Color Forms.
Yeah,
There's
dude, we had some dangerous.
Sucker Man and Stretch Man.
A sketch
You can
Armstrong.
stretch him. Stretch. Yeah, you can stretch his arms. Remember that? You can
Yeah.
stretch his arms all the way out. Yeah, we had some really. We had some cool ass. We had some cool ass toys, man. We had some like Shogun Warriors. You know.
Well, I'll just say this way: I didn't have those toys. I know people that had them. That's the life I lived. To have friends with toys. Hey, but really,
I didn't. Huh?
he said the chia seeds. Sorry.
Chia seeds. Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool, man. Good to know. Good to know.
Chia seeds. Yep. He's right. Yep.
Because I have those in my cabinet right now.
We had some. We had some. Yeah, we did. We had some nice. We had some nice toys, man. Those Shogun Warriors back then they were expensive, but today they're even worth a lot. They're worth thousands of dollars. Thousands.
Yeah, dude. Especially if they're fresh generation and mint in box too.
Yeah. I showed a picture he bought of a store down here that had them displayed, and he's like, "Man, I wish I can get those." I said, "Man, these are thousands of dollars, man.
Yeah.
Thousands."
I mean, they're
They
out there.
were. Huh?
They're out there. You're just gonna have to pay money.
It was in mint condition too, brother. Say if ever mint condition. They weren't all beat up and wore out. Man,
Yeah.
Micronauts and
Yeah, I still love that comic book, man. Love that.
Transformers. Micronauts.
Yeah, Micronauts. I used to
Yeah.
comic book. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was like Van Zam, Rom Space Knight, all those dudes. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because like I said, I went backwards. I was born in '73, so when I was collecting comics, when I started in the '80s, I went backwards and started collecting some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was just
Yep.
cool, man. I just love the art.
Hmm.
It seems so more fantastical because I guess back then, with some of the stuff that they did, they'd have to like really sell. I don't
Yeah.
know. I always looked at Marvel stuff as a car dealership. They
Hmm.
have so much stuff on that cover to sell it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's why I tell people all the time. I was like, that's why DC was untouchable, man. DC didn't have to really do that stuff because they were the big dog.
After all that stuff, and I know what's going on, brother. Sega forever with Marvel. I am still. My heart is still Marvel. I like the characters, man. I grew up with like I like DC is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying DC isn't. I just grew up with Marvel, man. I like I like the X-Men, you know, different things like that. I like the offbeat characters that nobody talks about, like one called Blackheart,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah,
Spiral. I think they're part of Doctor Strange. Spiral was that the girl with all the arms.
yeah, she's from I believe Mojo World.
Yeah, I like those ones. I like the really different ones. And the one character you probably know who I'm talking about, Sega Forever. He's an eyeball, Sanjigaon. He's like an eyeball with tentacles.
Shimagura. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like those characters, man. I think they're unique. And I used to play them a lot on Marvel superheroes. That's how I started liking them on Marvel superheroes. I was playing with those
Oh,
characters a lot,
okay.
you know. And I always like the weird characters and stuff like that. You know, what I mean, Sentinel, the ones people don't like Sentinel, and different stuff like that.
Oh, from the X
Man,
Men. Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
I think just that's one of the reasons why I think people love Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is the one Marvel movie to me that captured that off-world kind of cosmic universe vibe
yeah,
that Marvel had.
yeah,
I was really shocked when I watched it, dude. I remember watching it, and of course it was funny from the jump, right? But as they
yeah.
were going through the actual cosmos, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, I felt like, wow, dude, this is like what I thought it would look like on a movie screen when I used to
Yeah.
read comics, Jim Starlin and Silver
Mm-hmm.
Surfer, Galactus, the whole shebang. Right? And so when I saw Guardians for the first time, especially when they do those planetary cosmic shots, when you go to nowhere for that one time, that first time, and you
Yeah.
see the head of the what's his name? Man, dude, but you have that first they when they have that first shot, dude. That did it all for me right there. I mean, I knew Marvel had arrived at that point.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I know for a lot of people, it's probably Winter Soldier. Right? They're like, okay, we got to take these guys seriously. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was that moment because I
Yeah.
saw that in real time. I was like, wow, dude, that's amazing. That's celestial, right? I was like, that's amazing that they could pull that off. I mean, you feel as a person who, all the drug use that they did aside, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like that he was able to do that. James Gunn was able to capture it.
Well, I'm waiting for the new Blade. You know, I don't know if that's going to ever be made or be done. This new character, the guy that's playing Blade. I mean, in my opinion, Wesley Snipes is Blade. I know he's getting older. You have to, if you're going to make more Blade movies, yes, you're going to have to use a different character. But I would like to see a new Blade movie. I would like to see a new Spawn movie. I told Hebon about this. I seen a trailer of Spawn, and it was Jamie Foxx that was playing Spawn,
Oh, that would be cool.
and it was I don't know if it was before he got sick or something. I think Hebot was trying to tell me, but he looked like he would play a good. Is it Al Simmons? Like he
Yeah.
would play a good Al Simmons. Because I got the animated one from HBO. Remember the real gritty one that was out? HBO brought out
Hmm.
that helped Todd McFarlane. That's the first one that he made. I actually have the box set of that. I would like to see more of that, Brother Sega Forever. That was very gritty and very just very sinister and gritty, like the way the Spawn uh like series came out like that, man. And yeah, I remember buying that, man. I still have it. I actually still have that, and occasionally watch it over again with John Leguizamo playing Violator's voice, Spawn's boss,
That was probably
Violator.
one of the best parts of the movie was him. He's
Yeah.
such an animated actor, you know what I mean, that he could pull it
Oh
off.
yeah. Yeah.
And then my boy, I mean, I liked him as a Spawn. Um, but I guess he's older too, so I don't know. Yeah, they need. The thing about Blade, I remember when TNT or was it TNN?
It was Spike. I have the
Spike.
series. It was Spike. I have House of Chthon,
Yeah,
and I have the Blade series. I actually bought that at a half price books with Sticky Fingers playing Blade
yeah. So Sticky
from
Fingers from
Onyx.
Onyx.
Yeah.
So that kind of would give me hope, right? Well, I was gonna say that to you, but since you have it, you already know. That's
He was
so
he was a decent Blade. He was a decent Blade. I thought he was.
it blew me away because, and I like the girl too. She was awesome,
Yeah.
but it blew me away because, again, like, that's what I tell people, man. People don't realize how popular um Wesley Snipes was when
Yeah.
he was growing up.
Yeah, man.
Man, he could do no wrong,
Yeah.
and he cast such a big shadow over the Blade character that you could not see anybody. But when I watched that show, I was like, oh wow, that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh yeah. But
You know,
the one that they messed up, and it's a shame. It's a shame, Brother Sega Forever, what they did with the Blade series. They really fucked Blade. Blade Trinity was horrible. That was horrible, man. Putting wrestlers in, it just didn't. It didn't. I don't know. I think they were fighting. Wesley Snipe was fighting with the people at the time too when they were doing Blade Trinity, the third one. And
well, the because that's when they had old boy who plays Deadpool,
yeah, yeah,
Ryan, what's his name? I can't remember his
right.
name.
It ain't Ryan Seacrest, is it?
No, Ryan. He's Deadpool. No, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, dude. See, I'm old. Then they had old girl that married Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah,
He was in there. Then they had that one Russian chick, and then anyway. So I know what they were trying to go for, but the
yeah,
thing was right, and then it's funny because you see realists. He's saying Marshala Ali was complaining about the script and wanted input because what they're doing with the new Blade is kind of what they did with Trinity. They're kind of Xing Blade out, and like Wesley Snipes Blade had to kind of share the spotlight, and I know that was a problem. But
yeah.
with the new Blade, man, Blade is like he's gonna pass it. Like, it sounds like they're gonna do the girl thing again. You know, the girl power thing again, right? Where he's gonna be
You're
pretty
gonna
much.
do what?
Yeah,
You said a girl thing?
yeah. So he's not gonna be the main character. He's gonna be Blade in there, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like with Moonlight, right? Moon Knight. They have Moon Knight in there, but ends up the girl kind of becomes the bigger story. You see what I'm saying?
Really?
Well, that's what Disney is doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're doing this.
Ah,
They got this.
man.
Yeah. And this is what cracks me up about this because that's what they're talking about, girl power. And then you have one of the best female superhero movies done, which is the first Wonder Woman. Right? That's
Do you like that? Do you like because I have the old I got the old series. I got every last one. I got it because there was only 3 series with Linda Carter, the old Wonder Woman. Do you like the new Wonder Woman?
I like the first movie. I
Yeah.
like the new Wonder Woman. I think the second movie was a bit campy, but I like because it's not that I think the second movie was bad. It's that I would prefer them to go the more mythological route with the character,
Yeah.
right? Like they did in the comic book. Because I was drawn into the comic book because of that. Because I like mythology. I like Greek mythology especially. So there was a point in time, man, I can't think George Perez, and I forget the guy who was drawing. But anyway, they had kind of attached Wonder Woman to her to the mythology of Greece, and it was
Yeah.
super cool. So that's what I kind of got a little bit of that from the first movie, and I would have wished they would have continued down that path. Like I really would have loved to see them explore the possible relationship she would have with the gods.
Yeah.
And then when they did Justice League and they had the Age of Heroes,
Hmm.
I thought that was super cool, man. Because to me, that's what DC always was. That's why I hated them so much. I hated
Yeah.
DC Comics because I was a Marvel fan, and it's not because they're DC Marvel comics. It's that I always knew that DC was top tier, was top shelf.
Yeah.
Like, and they didn't have to work for it, dude. They had Superman, right? Like they had
Superman.
Superman and Batman, and even Aquaman. Even like their top five people knew. Like so, and with Superman, you don't have to do anything. Meanwhile, like the Marvel is like slaving away. It's kind of like Sony, right? It's kind of like what Sony doesn't have to do anything. Everybody covers. You know what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Sony don't
Yeah.
have to put in that work, but Microsoft, has to, and that's what I feel like Marvel was doing. And I like Marvel more, of course, but as far as like the mind share, yeah, there we go, the mind share stuff like that. Because everybody knew who Superman was. And I remember I used to argue with these dudes all the time, man. And there's no way I knew. There's no way I could out argue a DC fan when it comes to power level or who's the best super. But Superman is the archetype for what a hero is, right? He's the standard, right?
Yeah.
So um, so much so that one of Japanese anime's best superhero type comic or animes and manga is based like the main character. You can see Superman through and through in that character. Right? That's how potent of a character is.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point is being I just hated him. I just it was haterism. I was a horrible fanboy. I was a Laker fan. I hated the Celtics, dude. I'm a Steeler fan. I hated everybody in our division. Oilers is trash. Browns is trash. Bengals who? Bengals who? Who are the Bengals? It's a show. That's trash. Like, that's just the way it was, And yeah, Pirates, dude. I was a Pirates fan and a Penguins fan. I mean, a little older, a little wiser, but
Yeah.
yeah. But if you want, dude. But okay, realist, yeah. So what I heard the script is going to be is that they want to replace Blade. They're going to do a swap, right? They're going to have whatever I don't know who the actress is, but she's going to kind of be the main character in the movie.
No, Sega Forever, brother. I hope they don't do that, man.
Okay,
Damn
well,
it.
hold on to your bonbons, bro, because it's my understanding that Blade's going to be gay.
What?
So that's the rumblings I heard. Right? And as you guys know, I'm a Marvel fan, but I checked on Marvel Disney a long time ago.
Oh man.
That's the rumblings I heard. Now
That's like the,
go ahead.
brother Sega Forever. I did not. I liked it the first Black Panther movie. I have it on 4K DVD, 4K Ultra. I will not go see the second. I won't see it. I won't because they fucked that up. I messed it up. I heard a lot of people saying it. They hated it. They didn't like. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see it. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna bother now.
Yeah, dude, because then they. Oh, dude, it's a black superhero, dude. That should be a black superhero movie. Shouldn't be introducing other man. I'm just being honest, dude. Should you know what I'm saying? That's what they do, right? They just assume stuff about minorities, right? They're like, oh well, if we stick them all together and we put more of them in there, then everybody will love it. I'm like, dude, you're detracting from number one, the first movie.
Yeah.
And number two, man, the character it's a black superhero. It's made for black superhero fans and a black audience.
Yeah.
That's what you should focus on. And then if you have other people come in, like they did with the first movie, then boom, gravy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what you're making it for. That's why I don't like them, man, because they say all this stuff, but they don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? They, like again, Captain Marvel. If you wanted to impress me, the girl who played the black, which is actually Captain Marvel, but I forgot the actress's name. But she plays Captain Marvel, right? In
The white chick. The white chick.
No, the Vision Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
That Captain Marvel. Now, she's one of my favorite Marvel characters. She's right up there, top 5 Avengers of all time.
Captain Marvel was really black lady, right?
Well, that's the Captain Marvel that they have there, but she has no affiliation with Captain Marvel, the female.
Okay.
Brie Larson's character, or Miss Marvel, right? On that level, right? So there was a time, dude. Like I told this story before. I'll just say it here, but what they did was they took Captain America actually passed the mantle of leadership of the Avengers to her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she led the Avengers. It's probably one of the best ones because there's all kind of drama going on with the Avengers, and she inherited it, and so she was like trying to, she was already insecure about being the leader of the Avengers. She had to deal with all this drama. Dude, Namor joined them, right? And people hated Namor because he had killed a bunch of people. He did something stupid. Hercules was like it was just probably what the worst lineup you could possibly have, and she had to manage all these people, right? And through that, you saw her grow. Right, but one of the things the reason why you don't see this character is because she had she was influenced by her dad. Her dad was a big influence on her life, and so she tried to live. But she would have flashbacks to what the dad would tell her, right? And in this day and age, man, you're just not going to get that from Marvel at all, right? So that's why they be doing this kind of stuff, and this is why people like me get mad because I'm like, no, you're missing out on so much of the history of this character. And the reason why people would gravitate towards her is because she did have it hard, and there was a lot of trial and tribulation, and she didn't always make the right choice. She had to learn the hard way in some of this stuff, and people can identify. That's what made Marvel so great, right? People can identify with that. So Spider-Man was such a popular character, right? Because he wasn't like Stan Lee said. He's not the most popular guy, right? Nobody liked him. He couldn't get any girls, right? Yeah. He was poor. There was a lot of things about his life that people wouldn't want, and then when you add Stanley said you give him that power, which is where the power and responsibility comes on, right? And then he still has a crappy life, right? he's just a guy with superpowers, but still has a crappy life. And of course, this is when he goes down the road of being selfish and thinking only about himself, and then it ends up in the end costing his uncle his life, and that's what it then. So you need those moments, right, to kind of touch. Anyway, sorry, I know we're off topic, but yeah. So there's no, like for me, like for Black Panther, I really wanted them to focus on the nations because they're kind of set up in the first movie.
Yeah.
Like if Black Panther, sadly, what happened, right? But in the story, if Black Panther gets removed, then you have the sister take over, which I was fine with,
Right.
right? But there's going to be, dude, you don't think the other nations would have jumped in and tried to take over?
Yeah.
Because they had an uneasy relationship. But you remember what happened with the border tribe, right? That was defending the borders, right? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the dude even told him, he's like, "Hey, we want to," because he was a little bit more forward thinking, and that dude was like his friend, right? And he's like, "Look, dude, you can't be inviting just anybody in here, dude. You bringing in the world, but you also bringing the problems." Like he was trying to give him a dose of reality. Yeah, so he was dealing with all that in the first movie. So it'd have been nice to see stuff like that come into the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 'Cause I'm telling you right now, dude, people would have been trying to seize the throne of power from the other tribes. I'm
Yeah.
not saying all of them, but there was some messed up stuff that went on. Not messed up, but there was some history that was going on in Wakanda, right? Because if you look
Yeah.
at the technology and stuff that they have, that is not tribal based, right? And then they kind of hinted at that. You kind of got to pick that up, right? Because you had the brother. The catalyst of the first movie was the brother stepped out of Wakanda, and then he went into the world, right? Because he wanted
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference in the world. So I would think that would have happened throughout the history of Wakanda. They just don't discuss it. Right. So that's the kind of stuff I was hoping they would do because the first one touched on that stuff. I mean, they did a great job. To me, that first Black Panther movie, right? Because it had a touch of political, right? But it didn't go overboard, and
Yeah.
then they were very restrained, right? But in the second movie, I was like, okay, they're gonna go all in on this stuff, right? Then they add,
Yeah.
then they add like um, name more them, and then it's supposed to be a thing on like Hispanic stuff, and I'm like, what? Well, I'm like, dude, come on, man. What are you guys doing? You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
just focus on what you got, bro. Anyway, but we could talk about this stuff on Friday, bro, if you want. We can have a
Yeah. We will. We will. Yeah. It's good to reminisce a little bit about that. Brother Sega Forever. Like I go to my local library, man. There's certain things I like to burn. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I seen Black Lightning. I didn't know if
Mm-hmm.
it was any good. I didn't get it. Like I don't know if this is any good. I don't know if I should buy it or rent it from the library. I don't know. I don't know how good it is. Some people I guess liked it. I heard of Black Lightning, but I don't really know if I want to get into that series. You know
No,
what I
just
mean? But
it's the WB. Like if you like the WB formula, they never really go too far from it. I think
yeah,
some of the problems WB had anyway is when they tried to be a little bit more inclusive with their stuff.
yeah,
And then when it becomes at the sake of like that's the problem with Supergirl, right?
yeah.
Basically, like I tried to watch that show, and basically she just turned into a Karen for me. You know what I'm saying?
So the
And the problem,
Supergirl wasn't that great then, right? It wasn't
yeah,
that.
it had its, but it makes me sad. It had potential because I actually like DC TV shows. Right?
Yeah,
There's enough of the history and the camp, and then the action to keep me charged, right? Because we come from a different time, right? A lot of
yeah.
people just think of, we're pre what's his name that did the Dark Knight Returns? Do you remember the Arthur of the Dark Knight Returns?
Mm, mm-mm.
Frank Miller. We're pre Frank Miller comic book guys as well. I was there when Frank Miller turned everything upside down.
Yeah,
But we're also pre Frank Miller, so I like that about the WB, right? So, um, but Supergirl, man, it's just like it got to the point where I was like listening to, like she just had these issues, and I'm like, dude, you have superpowers. You can fly. You got heat ray
well,
vision.
yeah.
Okay.
I picked up. I don't know. I thought it'd be okay. I was watching a little bit of it on TV when it would come on back in the '90s. I think the early '90s was Lois and Clark, but that's more of like a love story thing.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah. That's a different take on the.
It's mostly yeah. It's basically about Clark and Lois. It's not.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Like
mean,
Smallville.
it's daycare thing. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
all right.
like Smallville is like young Clark, right? It's about him in high
Yeah,
school in Smallville. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the power of Superman, right? That you can do that kind of stuff with his character. You can go across the board with him.
yeah.
I find amazing. That's why I always find Superman.
Smallville.
Yeah.
I thought about getting into the Flash. I thought about because I was at my local Big Lots and I seen series one. I think it was series one of the Flash. I almost bought it, but I'm like, I don't know.
That
I heard
first
it was decent, but I don't know.
first season is awesome. Love the second. It's just one of these shows over time that had so many seasons.
Yeah,
I think once they went into the Speed Force and started doing which was kind of cool in the beginning, but like I always say, dude, it's hard to do those kind of storylines, and
yeah.
eventually, I mean, to me, they paint themselves. They were just having a hard time because they just couldn't. How can I put it? I think they were going to have a hard time with the finish because then we dropped off. Even my kids dropped off. My son, that was his favorite show, so we watched it all the time. The first Flash. In fact,
Yeah.
we watched the Flash that was in the Kid Flash was in the Smallville episode. Yeah, because I bought the whole series, the Smallville series, so we can watch it anytime we want.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Smallville. Even when it
I've been,
got towards the end, dude, I was all in.
I've been getting back into old shows. I've been watching. I binge watched. I didn't get all of them. I didn't get all of them. I didn't burn all of them. But Family Matters. I've been watching that.
I bought the entire series, dude. It was on
Did you
Netflix.
buy?
Yeah, it was on
You
sale.
bought? You bought everything?
Yeah,
Wow.
it said season one, but what it was is when you go on there, it's every season.
Now, when you bought all the seasons, was it reasonable price? You get a deal?
Like 30 something. Yeah, 30 something. It's all digital.
That's not bad at
Oh,
all.
that's awesome. Yeah, because that thing still goes for what, 60, $70.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
dude. I
been
mean,
watching. I've been watching that. It's funny. It's funny. They don't make shows like that. It's funny. They don't make shows like it anymore. There's no shows out there right now that are funny like that. And everybody. I've been watching Everybody Hates Chris.
yeah, that's old school. Yeah, that's classic. Not old school. It's classic.
Yeah, yeah. They just don't make the shows today, brother. Sega Forever. They're just not. I mean, some of the stuff like I sat down and watched the show with my kids that they like called this. I think it's called the Squid Games.
Yeah, yeah, Squid Game. Yeah.
Yeah, they love that where the kids like in there. If you fuck up, you get shot and killed or something. I watched a little bit of that with them. You know what I mean? Because that's what they liked. You know what I mean? So I was trying to get into some of the shows that they like, and that's one of them.
Are you talking
That
about the actual um, TV series show or the game? They
I
made a
think
live
it.
action game out of it.
I think it was a. I think it was a TV show. I think Brother Sega for. I think because they all lived in like these rooms
Yeah.
or something, and they had to go out and go do things or something. If somebody gets caught or something, why don't you get killed? You get shot, I guess.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly.
because they had the series, a Netflix series that was basically
That's
showing.
the one. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
So these guys die, right? Like they show it in the show. It's an acted
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah.
then they did like a Survivor type version of it, where the people like they'll get shot, but it's like a ping down or something. They fall down and stuff like that, right? Because you can't kill
Yeah.
them, but in real life,
Yeah.
like they did in the show. I watched
Yeah.
both of them. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. They really like that. But I've been really catching up, Brother Sega Forever, and I have to get back to it. I caught up with season 2 of Halo. It's pretty goddamn good, bro. The dude from Black Lightning actually plays in there, the albino looking dude. I think he's one of the
Oh,
characters.
for real? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's in it. He's in season 2. The dude with the big beard.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's in it. I think he's actually one of the Spartans or something like that. But it's pretty good. I binge watched it last weekend when I was watching our dog while my wife went to do something, and I binge watched it on Paramount. I'm not done yet. I have to go back to watching it, but it's pretty damn good. It's getting pretty good. The one black dude's in there with the bald head. What's his name? He
Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah, I like him. He played in a couple good movies.
Yeah,
You know.
he was the dude. You ever seen Dead Presidents? I loved him in Dead
Yeah,
Presidents.
yeah. That's a
Um,
good movie.
that's an awesome movie. Man, I had the biggest crush on the sister. What was her name?
Ah,
And Boucher Ray.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and Boucher. That's her
yeah,
real name, Boucher Ray.
yeah,
Yeah, like, oh man, this chick is. She come blazing out there with the guns.
yeah.
I was like, who
Yeah,
is
that
this?
was awesome.
Yeah, who is
Yeah,
this chick, man?
that was awesome, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, she was
That
kind
was
of
real
popular
awesome.
around that time too.
Yeah, yeah, and he's actually I think he's actually a martial artist. That what's his name? The bald head, the black
Oh,
brother.
really?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's doing good. I want to actually own Brother Sega Forever. I want to actually own those on Blu-ray, whatever. I want to own those. I want to have those in my collection. I don't know if season 1 is out yet like that. It might be. I want to own those. Actually physical. I want those physical, those Halo series.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not
So
sure.
I hope they bring that out. I want to actually own those, man. Those are good. It's good. It's really good. I think they're doing a good job with Halo. I think they're doing a really good job with it. You see more of the Covenant in this too. They're fighting like motherfuckers, boy. They're fucking. You see the ones that are invisible. They come up behind and stab the shit out of the fucking smart. It's really good. They I think they're doing a pretty good job with it. I think they're doing a good job. No spoilers, but I mean they're doing a good job with it. I'm really got into it. I'm like, man,
Is it
this
better
is
than
pretty good, huh?
Is it better than the first season?
I don't know, man. The first season was pretty heated. Master Chief kept getting lucky.
Well, I think that when I hear from people saying like, unlike the first season, there's not as much exposition, right? So like I
Well,
guess there's more
yes,
action in this one.
yeah. It seemed in season 1 when he's with that girl, man. They were just, that was hot and heavy. When he, yeah, when he's with that girl and stuff like that, man. But it's up there. It's up there with it. It's pretty damn good, man. I mean, it's good. I've been binge watching it, and it's actually pretty good, man. I'm like, wow, this is good. So I have to actually get back to watching the catch up. I think there's one more or something I have to watch, but it's good, man. I'm trying to catch up with the latest ones and stuff, but it's pretty good.
Is the season completely out on the service? Is it the whole everything's out every episode?
Yeah, the first season, yeah, you should be able
I
to
mean
watch it from.
the second one.
I think
Okay.
it is. I think,
Yeah, because
but
I like to wait for them to put them all out there, then I can binge watch it.
yeah, I would love. I mean, it's good. It's getting good. It's not dragging. It's not dragging out. It's getting pretty good, man. I think it's gonna go far. It looks like it's gonna go far. It looks pretty good, man. The one that I wanted to keep going that I do own too, Brother Sega Forever,
Mm-hmm.
is the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I own both of those, 1 and 2. They only made 2 seasons.
Oh
I
yeah,
wish I wish they could have kept that going, man. There's people that actually wanted that to keep going, and they stopped. I guess it wasn't doing well, or it was money thing. But the Sarah Connor Chronicles was pretty damn with the Terminator series. That was pretty good. They stopped making it. I thought it was getting good. I really did, but they stopped making it.
that was man, dude, you hear that helicopter?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that was the military helicopters for some reason always fly over where I live now.
yeah,
It's like their flight plan. They're so loud, dude. Yeah, flashbacks of being on base. But so, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that was kind of a issue of the time. It's one of the reasons I stopped watching Sci-Fi Channel, dude. I just got tired of investing
yeah,
in the shows, and then they would just kill them, like Warehouse 13. There
yeah.
was a time. Oh, go ahead.
They stopped. I'm like,
Hmm.
what are you guys doing? Why are you stopping Sarah Connor Chronicles? That was good, bro. It was getting good. I mean, it's like, man, I'm like, why would you stop that? Somebody should have picked that up because it was getting good.
The funny thing about it is now I'm the opposite. I watch some shows. I'm like, oh, please stop it. No, stop it. You need to stop
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
They're so bad. But I know there was this point in time where Sci-Fi Channel, because they had Battlestar Galactica, right?
yeah, man.
That
Yeah,
remake that they did.
I have
And
friends that were into that.
they
Yeah,
were just hitting on all cylinders.
yeah,
And so they did in fact they did this one movie where it's called, was it Room 6 or Room 5? It was really a weird movie, but it was made for TV movie, but it was so awesome. And it was like at that point in time, and then I was watching a lot of USA Network
yeah.
because they had what's that one? Dead Zone and Monk, right?
Monk, Dead Zone. Yeah, yep,
Yeah, they just had this run of the 4400 where that's the first time I saw Marshala Ali, the
yeah,
dude that I picked to play Blade. That
yeah.
was the first thing I seen him in, and that was years ago, dude. He was in the 4400 on USA Network.
Oh yeah,
It was the first time I ever seen him in a show.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, so it was just during that time where all this stuff was kicking off, and then all of a sudden, boom, it all just kind of fell apart, and it's sad because there seems to be a time where there's this gap for programming, and then all of a sudden, dude, these dudes stepped in, and now we got the trash that we have now.
Yeah, I know. It's
It,
a
yeah,
it's a
it's
shame, bro. It is. It's a shame, man. But the Halo series is doing good. I heard there might be. I'm hoping and praying because I'm a big, huge Gears of War fan. There's supposed to be a movie that they were making of Gears of War. I don't know if it's still in production or whatever, but they were supposedly making a movie. I am such a big. My favorite shooter of all time is not Halo. It's Gears. I love Gears, and they were supposed to make a Gears movie, or they're making one. And Bautista was supposed to play. He was supposed to play Marcus Phoenix. I don't know if they're still making it. There was rumors that they were, and I would love to have seen or see something on that, man. Gears, but I don't know. They might have put it on hold, or I'm not hearing too much about it. But supposedly they were making a Gears of War movie. You know?
I think yeah, I know there was a time where I thought Bautista, and I was like, now I'm like, I see some of his work now. I'm like, yeah, I think that's doable. You know what I'm saying? He's some range now.
I
He's put.
guess he can play a Marcus. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Does he look like Marcus Phoenix to you? He can kind of play him, I guess.
I mean, once you throw that do rag on him, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah, and they could contour his body that way. I mean, he has that build. I
yeah. He
think that's the
does.
thing, right? But
Yeah,
he is older. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about that. That's why he didn't want to play Guardians of the Galaxy because he
yeah.
said it was hard for him to get his body to that level. I didn't
Oh,
realize how old he was, dude. He's like older than us, either our age or older than us.
oh, really?
Yeah, he's not a spring chicken, dude.
Man,
And I remember seeing him in W. I've seen some old clips of him in WWE. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, he looks super younger in those clips, and he was a lot bigger body wise because his
yeah,
body could retain it better. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But
You
yeah,
know the
dude.
guy. You know the guy from. I actually knew him. He lived in PA. I seen. What's his name? Passed away. Virgil, the wrestler.
Yeah, yeah. I saw. I was sharing it on
He's
my
from
X.
Pitt. Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh. I seen him. I seen him. I seen him a couple times, man. But he was when I seen him Sega Forever. He was riding a pat bus. He was just. He didn't have no money. He was down and out. Me and my friend Brian. This other dude Brian. This big white dude, big ass white dude, man. He used to lift weights. We was going downtown, south side. He was on the bus, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We started talking to him, a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting myself together and still talking to Ted DiBiase. I got the $1 million belt. He never left like that wrestling type character. He's always carried that with him. I liked Virgil. He
Yeah.
was just trying to break in and just trying to be relevant in wrestling. I don't think he ever really got his, you know, debut to be like a superstar in wrestling. He was always there and he wrestled, and yeah, he won a few wrestling things when he was at the NWO. They kind of made him a little popular in there, but then he dropped off, and just things just all went downhill after that. After the NWO that he was in, it just went downhill.
It's a rough business, man, and but
Yeah,
he has some big claim to fame, man. Like, he wrestled Bret Hart at the height of Bret Hart's. Bret Hart was huge. That's my
yeah.
favorite wrestler of all time is Bret the Hitman
Bret
Hart.
Hart, yeah, Bret
And,
Hart, yeah,
and I hated him, dude. I hated him when he first came out. I hated the Hart Foundation because I hated the Mouth of the South, and then they did
yeah,
the Hart Foundation. I couldn't stand them.
yeah,
But over time, man, it's because I like wrestling. I didn't realize like, dude, he's really good. He's really good at putting people over. He's technical. Like there's things that I ended up liking about him. I guess it's the same way I look at Larry Bird now, right? I hated
yeah,
that dude when of course because I'm a Laker fan, but now I look at him I'm like, dude, respect.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Bret Hart, I was hardcore into wrestling, and so Bret Hart, man, he changed me, man. I was like, dude, I love this dude. And I became like his biggest fan, and then he kind
yeah,
of struck out on his own, and then he got he became huge, and uh, Virgil, man, had a match for the championship with him.
yeah, yeah,
So Virgil, he definitely had his moments. That's why
yeah. He did.
I know when everybody was waiting for the turn with DiBiase. DiBiase was such a great $1 million man. People don't realize how old of a wrestler DiBiase is, man. He's old school, right? He comes from
Yeah,
that old circuit of wrestling. That one of those.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's a preacher now, or he
Yeah,
was.
yeah, he found God, which is good.
Yeah.
Good for him because ain't getting
Yeah,
any
man.
younger. But yeah, he
Yeah.
talks about that, and I know his son was doing movies, those kind of B-rated action movies.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
The son's just all into the business. I don't know if the dad supports him or not, but
Yeah, I
so
didn't know that.
Virgil, yeah, he had his little, but the rest, like I said, wrestling business, especially back then, was rough, dude. A lot of these guys never got their full, in my
Nope.
opinion, their
No.
recognition, and then you see a lot of them like Sting. Sting just
Yeah.
retired, right? And
Yep.
then a lot of people were like unless you follow wrestling, dude, people saw Lex Luger, you know,
Yeah.
he's in
Yeah.
a wheelchair now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's in
Um,
bad shape.
yeah, he's in bad shape, and I think Sting is another one, dude. He's a Christian too, and so is Lex Luger, found God, which again is good, right? 'Cause like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
not. Um, but it's sad, man. The history of wrestling, dude. Like the one dude that I like, man, this guy Brian Adams, and he played Crush.
Yeah.
Uh, he was
Yeah.
Crush. I didn't know this dude was Hawaiian. Um, well, he was like, when they had Accent Smash, and then they added the third person Crush. That was
Yeah.
Brian Adams, yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a sad story. There's a lot of those guys that have like sad stories, man. Either died or they
Mm-hmm.
died young, drugs, or their body just gave out
Oh
on
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the legacies to me that I think it's unfortunate. I know the WWE has gotten better, or wrestling as a business has gotten better, but I think that's something that it's unfortunate. But something that I wish like how the NFL takes care of their players now in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Because of what you hear the horror stories of NBA, um, like I heard like Nate Archibald actually was cleaning the the garden. He's the
Mm-hmm.
Nate Archibald was probably one of the greatest guards in the NBA, and he had a hard life. And these dudes make bad decisions, not good with finances, and they end up on hard times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And anyway, not to. I mean, I might actually watch WrestleMania, dude. All this stuff going on with The Rock, dude, is like they brought The Rock back. He went heel, and it was good too because there's people like they were mad at him. They're like, I'm never gonna watch your movies. You suck. You're selfish. I was like, bro, he's
Oh man.
yeah, they're not. It's like I saw some of the people. They didn't tell they hated him, and I'm like, bro, it's like he's turning. He's a heel now.
They
And then,
say he sucks.
well, it's just like, plus that whole Maui thing didn't help him. Right? He got a lot of flack for that, but his stardom probably, his
Yeah.
stardom kind of been going down a little bit. But but now he's what he's with the UFC and WWE. He's got some kind of role, and so when he came
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
bloodline thing, right? Everybody was assuming that he's just trying to feed his ego. I guess some of the people thought this,
Yeah.
and they tied in the Cody Rhodes thing. I personally think it was all planned because that's how wrestling is. But
Yeah.
there's people that was like, no, dude, he wanted to take the spotlight, and then the fans changed him and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, what, whatever. All I know is I've not been really interested in wrestling until like now, like after all this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't. The last time, Brother Sega Forever, that I liked wrestling, I didn't like the WWF. I liked the WCW. I was a
Oh yeah,
diehard WCW fan, and after they left and fell off, Ted Turner, I stopped watching wrestling really. And then I tried to get into TNA because what's his name owned TNA, and he was trying to make it like a WCW, and now it's called something else. Now it's called something else. It was TNA, and that's Jeff Jarrett actually owned that or something like that, I think.
I see. Yeah, because
And this,
the WCW, they were NWA, and they had the southern circuit, right? The southern
yeah,
Midwest wrestlers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the NWO when Hulk Hogan and Scott all them made up the NWO, that really just took WCW to great heights, man. It really blew up. It was more popular than WWF. It was like destroying them. The NWO. That's why they made the triple X Factor or whatever, because the NWO was just like, man, that was the shit back then, man. Everybody was NWO, World Order, New World Order, you know.
Well, even before, like I used to love WCW, like NWA, I loved, and then of course that they changed their, well, we all know why, right? They changed
Yeah,
to WCW. But the great thing about WCW, dude, they had some great events, bro. They had Bash at the Beach.
Yep.
They had all kind of
Fall
fun.
brawl.
Fall
Fall.
Brawl,
Yeah.
Halloween Havoc,
Yeah.
right? All that stuff, man. And they were, you know what they reminded me of? Marvel, dude. They was pushing, dude. They was
Yeah.
hustling. Dude, they
Yeah.
was like Ice T, man. They was hustling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They out there trying to
Yeah.
get the money. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, because I was on the WWF side too, because I love the whole rock and wrestling thing. You know, I love
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
the
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog and
Oh
Big John
yeah.
Studd and King Kong Bundy, Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan, right?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow, all those guys, dude. So I
So
would watch
yeah.
both, dude. I was not like I guess my preference was more WWF, but see, I grew up in Florida too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all these dudes, like all these guys, dude. They from that area, man, a lot of these dudes,
Yeah.
and so that's how I got into the Horsemen, man. I seen somebody share a
The
clip
Four Horsemen. Yeah.
for Horsemen, and I'm talking about the original with Tully,
Oh yeah.
the Andersons, and then Flair.
Yeah.
I think Dylan was the manager, but somebody shared an old clip, man, and it was like classic. Arn Anderson, man.
There were some good tag teams, man. Harlem Heat.
Oh, Harlem Heat was awesome. Yeah, Harlem Heat. Dude, you remember Tony Atlas and Rockstead?
Tony Atlas and
Rocky
Rocky
Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They were, dude, man. That's like the two most like bodybuilderish guys. Dude, Tony
Yeah.
Atlas, man. Dude, they was just built, dude. It's like they were sculpted out of rock.
Is he still alive or did he die?
Rocky's dad passed. Rocky Johnson
Yeah,
died.
but Tony Atlas, is he
I don't
still
know.
alive?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I'd like to think he's still alive. He used to have the Superman. Remember when he used to wear that Superman outfit, dude? That dude was
Yeah.
dude, that's one of the biggest dudes. You know, back then, dude, the monster thing was a big thing. But you could tell that they were huge, but they're naturally gifted, dude. That's all genetics, man. That's kind of where the Rock
Yeah.
gets its stuff from.
Yeah.
Luckily, he gets the dad genes, man. Because if you got the Samoan genes, dude, you wouldn't be able to get that cut.
Yeah, there were like there was really good guys that were like from there. Like there was one I think called the Great Muda.
Yeah, great Muda. Yeah.
Isn't that the guy that would sit on the ring and spray the shit out of his mouth?
Yeah, he was sprayed in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, he
So-
was cool.
Well, he was just a great. All Japan, right? I believe he came from All Japan.
Yeah.
He had moves. You remember at that time, like you didn't see a lot of the luchador stuff and stuff like that. But when these dudes came over, man, they just put on a show that you wouldn't necessarily see. You know?
There was a lot of I met Jimmy Fly Snuka.
Yeah.
I met him.
Yeah, he's actually Tongan.
Oh
no,
yeah?
I think he's Tongan.
He is?
His daughter was wrestling for a little while.
Oh really?
Yeah. A lot of these guys you see, they're generational, man.
Yeah,
they're generational. They keep it in the family in a sense, which makes sense because they're in the business already. So you don't have to do much. It's harder to develop the talent unless somebody really stands out.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Zane? Yeah.
I met Sergeant Slaughter. I met Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big Hacksaw Jim Duggan was, dude. He has I can see why he could carry that two.
Oh yeah.
That's a big boy.
And I met Gail Kim and got her autograph.
Oh, did you? You know she married that chef.
Did she?
Chef. Yeah, she married that British chef. The dude, he's kind of built dude. But he did the operation. Like I don't know, like he had to put a kitchen together in like the middle of the.
Oh really?
Yeah, I forget what his name is.
And when I met her, she wasn't. When I met her in Pittsburgh, she came to the CityCon thing, and I was actually the first one where her booth was, and I actually seen her come down the escalator and come over, and she's like, wait. I said, okay, so I had to wait. And she's really small. She's like 5'1". She's short, dude. She's not.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah, and a very nice autograph picture. I'll have to send it to you. I'll show you what she sent. It was very nice, man. She tried to get me to buy all this other stuff. I'm like, I just want your autograph.
Yeah,
but she was cool. She was cool though.
She was like one of the ones that stood out, for the female wrestlers and stuff, dude. I mean,
yeah.
Like, in the WWF, dude, we just had this moment in time where I was just enamored by the female wrestlers, dude. You had Sable.
Yeah.
Sable was amazing, dude. And some people like I'll share some of the stuff and like, oh, you like her body? It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
She was beautiful, built. She's blessed. I like to say, right? But dude, when she look, Mark Murrow, man, she's not a small dude. He was Johnny B. Bad. And so when she picked him up and did his own move on him, I was like, this chick is legit, dude. This girl, it was hard to find, right? I mean, nothing
Yeah.
against wrestlers, but when you have girls like her, then it was her. Then what's up? The Holly, the one Holly girl. You know what I'm
Um,
talking about, man. She
I
was
forgot. I
legit.
forgot.
And then my girl Lita. Lita was
Yep.
legit. Then China, man, like she came out of nowhere.
China. Yeah.
China, and so you had. It was
China
just
was which one was that? That was
she was with DX,
oh
Tupac.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
right. Six Pac. Oh yeah, well yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, she died though, man.
well, shut up. There's all kind of issues right there.
Yeah, she was going through some shit, dude. Jeff Jarrett, I think what's his name from Pittsburgh, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
He tried to bring her over to TNA and like get her to like people were cheering her and he had her hand up in the air like he was trying to get her to join the I think he had a group he was trying to make like an NWO type thing. I think they were called the Mafia or the something,
Yeah.
like getting them all together and they wear suits and stuff like that. He was trying to get her over there, but I don't think it fell through. I think she was trying to get her over there to wrestle for TNA, but I think she wasn't gone for it or something because she made an appearance. I seen where she made an appearance, but I think he was trying to get her into the game, and she was like, I don't know, you know. It's
They're just such a big entity in WWF, and
yeah,
she's a part
yep,
of DX, which was what the byproduct of them trying to compete with. Yeah, you were right, dude. NWO just was. I remember that, dude. There was guys I knew that were just strictly WWF that
yeah.
switched over, man. When the Wolf, especially with Kevin Nash and Scott
With the
Hall.
Wolf Pack, yeah,
Ah, dude, man, it's like so many people, man. They was doing the Wolfpack thing at school.
yeah. That
And
was more of a the NWO black and white, and then they made the NWO. The Wolf Pack was more of like an urban. Like he tried to make it more thuggish, like him and Scott Hall, and it did really good when they made the Wolf Pack. That was really good. People started really getting on board then.
well,
You know,
the whole storyline they were running with, you don't know who's who, was even
yeah,
when Hogan turned. That was the big one, right? When Hogan, I remember that, man. I was losing my mind, dude. Me and there's this my uncle was dating this girl, and so then her son, we would watch because he loves wrestling too, man. And I remember watching this with him.
yeah,
Two
yeah,
big moments, right? When Hulkster, I remember watching this when Hulkster missed the leg drop on the Ultimate Warrior and he beat him.
yeah, yeah,
That moment, and then when Hogan turned, um, well, eventually Hulk went to WCW, right? But then he turned.
yeah,
And I remember those two moments, and it like shook up everybody, man. We were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this!" You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it was crazy, right? And so, but I loved it, dude. And then you had the whole thing was like, who's, whose team, who's NWO, who's not, and then the way they did everything, how people started shifting and stuff like that. That
yeah.
was what's his name, right? That was all his stuff, dude. That was perfect, dude. That I put, my grandmother then used to watch General Hospital and Dallas and Guiding Light and all this stuff. I was like, dude,
Fucking Chris.
yeah, I was like, they have nothing on this stuff. Falcon Crest, you're not landing. They can't hold a candle to the writing. The writing right here. Yeah, because it basically was our soap opera, right? Just like,
They
damn.
tried to, yeah, because you're right. It started to shift because there was NWO black and white, but then they started like not liking each other, and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash went and made their own, which was the Wolfpack. But then there was one called NWO White, and it was Hogan and like the other older dudes like Papa Pump was over there for a while, and then he went to the he went to the Wolfpack because he was called Big Papa Pump. You
Yeah,
know,
he was so cool, man. Everybody, holla if you hear me.
yeah.
They all had this, dude.
I'm the big booty daddy.
Yeah, big booty daddy. Holla
Yeah.
if you hear me. Dude, they just had some cool. I don't know, dude. I mean,
I still got his shirt. I still got that shirt. I actually still got an NWO shirt. I got a couple. Of them, man. I still got Scott Hall's shirt, and I got some of the NW. I still got some of that stuff. I still wear it once in a while. I still put them on once in a while. I still got some of that stuff, man.
Respect. People would get shouting you out, bro.
The old ones,
Those
though.
are good times, bro. Those are super good times.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the whole thing with Austin, and it's amazing, like how wrestling, like especially then, right? Like one would be down, then the others would come up, but how it always like regenerates storylines and then rise. rise
Yeah.
back up to the occasion, man. Because
Oh yeah.
the whole thing with Austin, dude, that was nuts, dude. That was like another level too. Like they were a
When
touch.
then there was bad things that happened. Like what's her name? What's her name? Um, Macho Man's wife getting
Oh, Mr.
killed.
Lips.
She got killed, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but she got killed. You know, it's crazy. There's a lot of like when you watch those documentaries, man. Those documentaries were serious, bro. I watched
Oh,
some of those.
one of my favorite wrestlers, bro, is Chris Benoit. You know, and you heard about
Yeah,
him and his
he
family.
killed his family and everything. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like a lot of these dudes was on drugs back then,
Did they?
painkillers.
Wasn't it? Sega Fair? Wasn't it? Steroids that made him like that?
But
Was it
steroids,
steroids that did that to him, or?
you know, I think it's like he was on depressants as well. You know, he's got probably like stuff to help him sleep. You know, these guys' bodies were wrecked. You know,
Yeah,
if you look at Benoit, man, his stuff where I really liked him was when he was in Japan.
yeah,
Uh, what was he called in Japan? Pegasus? You know what he was called?
something
Um,
like that. He was a big dude too.
well, the moves and stuff he would do. You know, I say like yeah, those suplexes and then you come off the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
I mean, over time, you know, it's like you look at Bret Hart, dude. I'm surprised he's as good as he is. But you
Bret
can see
Hart. Yeah,
yeah, you know, all these dudes, man. You know, so I mean, it's sad, right? You know, it's yeah, it's a tragic business at times, man. I don't know
it
how to
is, man.
put it.
It is.
You know.
It is. I have some of those. Do you not actually have WWF in your house on Sega Saturn, bro?
Really? Oh man,
Yeah, I have
dude,
that one.
I used to buy all the games, man, on every console. Probably the game I liked the most was the actual Japanese import.
Yeah,
I remember this, dude. I had to download and print out the manual, man, and I had to learn the moves because it was all in Japanese.
yeah.
And the
Those
reason
are
why,
tough.
well, the reason why I played, there's just guys over there that I love. Like Masashiro Chono is like one of my favorite Japanese wrestlers. And then
Yeah.
you had like Eddie Guerrero that were all over there too, man. Like Eddie
Oh
Guerrero, Chris
yeah,
Benoit.
Eddie Guerrero, one of the greats. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Eddie Guerrero, man.
he was Black Tiger Mask, I want to say. But dude, they had all their moves, dude. They had all
Yeah.
the moves, and it was classic like wrestling that we grew up watching. And you could do all of it on this game. They had them all,
Hmm.
dude. That's why I had to get the manual because I had to study it. I had to study the manual so I could do the moves. And then once you play it a while and you start getting it, dude, you could do stuff to them in the turnbuckle. You could do stuff off the turnbuckle. They had all their super moves. They had everything, man. It was just awesome. But I want to say Dr. Death was in there too. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, like one of my favorite wrestlers. Because he had like that power slam that I love.
Yeah.
The Oklahoma Sooner, you know, like Jim, what's his name? Jim, the cowboy hat guy. That announcer, Jim. Oh my gosh, dude.
What was his name?
I'm talking about, dude.
I forgot his name. Then there was what's his? It was was Mean Gene Okerlund and Bobby the
And
Brain
me,
Heenan.
Bobby the Brain, like my
Yeah,
boy.
I think they both are dead. I think they both died.
I think they passed. But my boy was Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon.
yeah. That's I learned the word intestinal fortitude from that man.
Yeah. There was George the Animal Steel.
Oh yeah.
Kamala.
Have a
He
book.
died. He died.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
really good book on him, dude. That goes beyond the character that he played.
Kamala.
Yeah, just like George the Animal Steel, dude.
Yeah.
He's like a teacher. So, you know, like these guys were out. They were playing characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, the whole thing
George
of
the
this
Animal still did good, man. He people be like, oh man, he's eating the turnbuckle. Oh, he's eating. He used to eat the the or he would bite the post things off and stuff like that.
yeah, he would eat the stuffing, the stuff that's
Yeah, yeah. People were like, oh man, he would look in the audience with those eyes, like looking around at everybody. That's what got everybody. The way he looked, the way he carried his swag, man. He did a fantastic job.
Well, he used to chase around Miss Elizabeth. Remember? That was
Yeah, yeah.
but there's a yeah, that was a cool. They would play all that stuff up, dude. You see, you're in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you get to go right and watch?
I seen one wrestling match with this kid I work with.
Oh,
It was WWF one. What's his name was big? Kane. When Kane was big, uh, I went to a wrestling match at the Civic Arena, and it was with Kane. And I think he was. I don't know if he was taking on the Undertaker because aren't they brothers or something like that?
they played brothers. Like
Yeah, they played brothers.
but
Yeah,
they also went against each other too. Like
Yeah.
Kane blamed him, like what you do with my face? You know that he's a mayor now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Tennessee. Yeah, I follow him.
Wow, he's a mayor. Wow.
Is mayor or
What
governor? No, I don't want to say mayor
what's
of a
his name
town.
was a mayor too? What's his name? What's that one dude? What was his name? Second forever. He was a big dude. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh yeah, he was Minnesota. He was the governor, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse the Body, man. I remember him. Superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah. Those are old Ricky Dragon Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon. Dude, that I told I wrote on Twitter that he changed my status on the playground. Because when we used to wrestle, right, everybody would be in character, and I'll be like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, I wanted to be Barry Windham." I was
Yeah, I
like,
remember Barry Windham. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I want to be Barry Windham," and they're like, "No, man, you can't be Barry Windham, dude. You got to be one of the Islanders." It
Yeah. Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
so I could only play like the Islanders. They let me be Coco Beware or the Islanders
Coco
or
Beware, Jump Yard
Samoans.
Dog.
Yeah, so there wasn't really like, and then when Ricky the Dragon came out, I was like, oh, well, I could be Superfly Jimmy Snuka too. But when Ricky the Dragon came out, because that's the first time they were like, oh, I'm gonna be Ricky the Dragon. I'm like, no, you can't be Ricky the Dragon. You got to be one of the Four Horsemen. You got to be Ric Flair. You got to be Tully or Arn.
Yeah, did you ever? There was a good story on the one wrestler, Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh yeah, that's another.
Ravishing Rick Rude, Jake the Snake,
Yeah, Jake the Snake
Roberts,
Roberts. Yeah, yeah.
all them guys, man. They had some stories. They did a couple of documentaries and stuff like that. That stuff is good stuff, man. Um,
You
Diamond
got,
Dallas Page, all those dudes.
yeah, he's like a motivational person or something now. Like I see his tweets on. I follow him on Twitter on X, and he talks about positivity and stuff.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I mean, I always liked the dude, man. I thought his one of it. I loved his move, and when he used to do his little thing, dude,
Yeah.
he was like so popular that people in like other sports professions were doing it. Like when like one of the football players would score a touchdown, they do the diamond cutter symbol,
Yeah.
and then they would do the bam. And then I saw one dude, man. I love Booker T, man. He did some. You remember he was doing the spin and Rooney?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
And then because I think it was the counter to something the Rock did, but then it kind of became popular, like its own thing. And then I saw this one. I think it was the Eagles, man. One of the dudes caught a touchdown, and then he did a spin and Rooney, and then in the end zone. And I thought that was cool.
I miss those guys because when Harlem Heat were together, I think the one guy actually left, and it was just they didn't have Harlem Heat anymore. It was just what's his name?
Yeah, Stevie Ray.
He left, right?
But yeah, but Booker was like he was destined to be more though. You could tell.
Booker. Yeah.
Yeah, just like with Heart Foundation, right? Jim the Anvil, that's he's part of that. But Bret Hart
Jim
was,
the Anvil Neinhart. Yeah.
yeah. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. Like you can tell, like these guys had that. Booker T, like it didn't surprise me that he blew up like he did because he had the potential to do so.
What
You know
was
what I'm
the one?
saying?
What was the one of those two wrestlers? Name. See if you remember. Say it forever. Remember they were brothers and they used to come out and wrestle too. One was I think one was a white dude, one was a black dude.
Oh no, Devon and yeah,
What's
this
the name of the team
the
again?
Dudley Boys, Dudley Brothers, no Dudley Boys,
There's
right?
Dudley Boys, and there was another one. They used to come out and
Oh yeah, you're talking about Jeff and Matt, the Hardy Brothers, the Hardy Boys.
no, not them.
Oh,
Not the Hardy brothers. They
Hardy,
were. I can't remember the name of the two dudes, man.
they're
They
brothers.
were they were. I don't know if I think they were in WCW. I think they were in WCW. One was like look kind of like white, and the other one was a black dude. They were like they were called they were a tag team, but I can't remember the name because he used to come out. The one used to come out and say, "I'm not gonna wrestle until you give me a box of ding dongs, like the cakes or something." And I
Oh
forgot.
yeah.
I think they were called. Was they called 3D?
Well, yeah, this is the Dudleys, right? That's
Is
what you're
it
talking about, right?
3D?
3D. Yeah, because it was Devon and but no, what was his name? My gosh, dude, let's see, because the table ladders and chairs match were epic. Yeah. So then they had their third brother Spike, right? The guy with the glasses, the
I
little kid.
think so. Yeah, and I think they were called 3D or something like that.
Yeah,
I
there's
can't
the Dudley
remember.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember them. They were They were pretty good. But you remember in WCW, what was the girls' tag team? Those two girls, they would come out. They would come out Sega Forever, and they would always shake their ass at the camera. They were the two blonde girls. They would they would like always go after Gail Kim and try to take her belt and beat her up behind the stage. There
Oh,
was two. There was two. They were together. There was two. There were two blonde chicks that were they were a tag team, but I don't know. I can't remember the name of their tag team. But they were always trying to beat all the girls up and like take their belts and and stuff like that. They always went after Gail Kim. They always went after Gail Kim because she always had the belt the most. I can't remember the name of them because I seen them in person here in Pittsburgh when they came. I can't remember the names though. I can't remember. They were with WCW. I can't remember the names. If you see them, you would know who I'm talking about. I don't know if they still wrestle now, but they used to be in WCW. I think they were in TNA. I think they were in TNA too. I can't remember their names though.
all I know there's like everybody was in love with Gail Kim.
Yeah.
When she hit, like they were like, all my friends were like, "Oh my gosh, who's this girl? She's like they're all in love with her."
Smoking, yeah. I think the only one that beat her was that. I think her name was Kong. Kong beat her, took her belt. The big black lady would do that powerful body slam that shook the whole goddamn ring. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's some big girls back in the
Her
day.
name was Kong. You remember her? Her name was Kong. She's the only one I think that beat Gail Kim and took her belt.
I'm trying to look these people up because I can't.
And then she got pregnant and left. She had a baby.
Oh, Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember. Now that you showed me the picture.
Awesome Kong beat Gail Kim, took her belt. Remember she did that big ass fucking like body slam, like
Yeah, well, she did the split, right?
whole,
Like she would slam you down, but then she would fall to her like kind of like a split,
yeah.
not a split, but she put you between the legs, right?
Yeah, and then boom, she would shake the whole goddamn ring, bro. Awesome Kong, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to it? I mean, that's the thing, though. I like to go back and like.
Awesome Kong got pregnant and had a baby, and I think she stopped wrestling in real life. I think that's what happened. She got pregnant, and that was it. I think she stopped wrestling. I don't think she ever came back.
It's the thing about it is, right? It's hard to find like those type of women.
Yeah.
Like I know they're trying to put over old girl now. Yeah, they're trying to pull over old girl. What's her name? Dude, she's the Rocks family.
She's a what?
She's a part of the Rocks family. She just came back. It's the Rocks cousin. They're trying to set her up with that new chick, man. Ray. What the heck is that girl's name, dude? See. Dude, I am. When I was younger, I could just rattle stuff off. Now I'm like. I forgot her name. My daughter was telling me about it. My daughter was like, "Dad, this chick is Jack. I want to lift weights." The WrestleMania 40 we're doing? What are we doing?
I can't remember.
Yeah, obviously 2024. Who is it? Dude, I'll tell you who is that dude. Okay, wait. I think I got it. Show me the thing, man. This is what gets me about this thing. Oh my gosh, I don't want to go to Wikipedia. Okay, anyway. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be looking. But hey, brother, my daughter just called. I gotta go grab her.
Okay.
But dude, man, let's do this on. Let me think of anything going on Friday. I don't think anything's going on Friday. Do you think Unlimited's gonna do a show?
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Because I don't know. We just found out today, right?
Yeah.
About this show.
I don't think we have to talk to him. He usually does them on. He usually does it on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Usually, it used to be Thursdays. Well, he would do the Unlimited Truth.
Because I think Thursday's the actual showcase.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
He
what is
might
it?
do it
Pardon.
that day. He's probably going to do it that day after the showcase. Get everybody's thoughts. I can see him doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it like just it'll be? Is it half an hour, 45 minutes? Do you know?
Yeah, probably about Unlimited doesn't like to go real long, so probably about 45. I think 45 minutes, I would
Oh, I
say.
mean the
Are you
um
talking about the show?
the showcase.
It could be 40. It could be, I think it might be 45 minutes. They like to make it short and sweet, get into the games, get into what they're talking about, and then end it. Not let it drag out. They're pretty good with that.
30 minutes. It's
30 minutes?
it's gonna be about 30 minutes long. So it's gonna just like they normally do, roll one after the other.
Yeah.
I do want to see the Capcom game because that's one I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Path of the Goddess. Um, so I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I was saying, or I just repeat myself, but I think it would be funny if you actually got a Nintendo game.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be crazy.
I mean,
That
for
would
me,
be
it'd be
really.
kind of like damage control a little bit, right? Like to let people
Yeah.
know this is what our plans are. Because yeah, dude. I mean, sorry, just to wrap up real quick, but
All right.
yeah, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's we lost a lot of like I said, 2024, man. The Xbox was at the fan base was at a super high.
Yeah.
So, I just can't lie, dude. I mean, it's now. You know what I'm saying?
The real ones is in the real ones. You know who the real ones is. They stay. You never turn. All these dudes have been out here for a long time, saying they're Xbox dudes. They turned, man. They don't have tough skin, bro. They don't bleed green. They don't have the tough Teflon skin, bro. Xbox skin. They just don't, man. They buckle. They buckle under pressure, man. Under
It's still
different things, stuff, man.
it still doesn't cease to amaze me. Like when somebody big like a Tim Dog falls, I was like, dang.
Yeah,
See, so because you never know. We've seen it all, bro. We've seen it all in this community, right?
yeah.
So
We
yeah,
told people, look, if something was to happen to Xbox or whatever, I'm still gonna be an Xbox fan. I don't care if they went away. I'm still gonna play the old games, whatever they have. That's who I am. I'm an Xbox dude. So that's how it is. If they went all on computer, I'm gonna play the games because I like Xbox. So I love it. I like Xbox.
well, like for me, like I said earlier, dude. This is the last. It's the last hurrah for me, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna go anywhere else. It's gonna stay as
Nope.
long as I
Me
can.
either.
You know.
Me either, man. I'm staying with Xbox. I like. I'm a collector. Don't get me wrong. I like collecting video games, and when I can, it's becoming really expensive. I have a lot of stuff now that's expensive, but if you want to collect today, Sega Forever, it's. I can get a few games, but it's expensive, bro. It's too expensive.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, straight up, man. The longer it goes, right, the harder it's gonna be. Because
It's so
this, you
it's
know,
so expensive, bro. It's astronomical. When I go to my game store, I see some of the games I have and some I don't have, thousands of dollars. It's crazy. They're in the thousands, some 900, 500, 180, 200. It depends on what the game is, but man, they're mad crazy expensive now.
it's funny because I look back at comic books and the problem I see comic books having, right, is
Yeah,
that high grade is disappearing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, you know, the whole mint condition thing, right? So you see these people getting stuff certified now.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's at least with the tech side, it has a little bit more longevity. But I'm eventually sure that unless you take care of this stuff pristine, I mean, eventually it won't. It can't last forever, dude. Because the stuff that this stuff was printed on back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Over
yeah,
time, I'm talking
yeah.
about the comic book side. So at least with video games, I mean, I guess the biggest threat to them is like if the technology goes away, the actual player.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have the software,
Yeah.
you know. And then somebody could do like, I don't know, dude. We're getting old, bro. That's just man.
Yeah, we are, brother. We are. We are,
And
man.
hopefully Gen Z can save us, save
We'll.
uh
Yeah.
save all this stuff. You hear one of the biggest thing is that they're the ones watching, like how we talked about them listening to the older music, but they're
Yeah.
also watching the older TV shows,
Yep. Yep.
right? because one of the things they found out is because it fits their budget as well, right? Because it's cheaper, right? As
Yeah,
opposed to doing stuff that costs money now. And some of them are going on this rabbit hole, man. And so I think it's good. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I think so. I think so.
I mean, the same storytelling. I think you need this
Yeah,
to have a pushback against the woke stuff that's going on
yeah,
industry. You know what I'm saying? Once that stuff takes over, man, and you lose what you had, you can't ever go back. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, or
yeah.
it's impossible. So let them watch Blazing Saddles. Let them watch so many
Oh
shows.
yeah, those are classics. Classics, man.
Yeah, because they really need to learn how to. They really need to learn perspective and how to put themselves. Not trying to take the stuff that their society is saying now, and trying to put it
Yeah,
on the past. That's why a lot of people get canceled. Right? They find
yeah.
like old tweets or old videos of you. So, dude, I was watching like I said, I was watching this stuff with the Horsemen, and then Arn Anderson said lynching, right? And I was like, oh, bro, and I'm not even like that, but I'm like, bro, I mean, I'm not even sensitive to stuff, but I'm sensitive now because the environment we live in, right? It's just like I seen people reacting to Blazing Saddles and they were offended by it, and I'm like, no, no,
Yeah, yeah,
you're missing the point of it. It's saying things without saying. It's the art of saying something without saying something, right? You don't realize how they were kind of talking about the system at the time, right? There's a lot of nuance in the movie. But because if you don't pick up on that, these guys were watching the show. They're like, "Oh man, I can't believe they
yeah.
said it. So what is this supposed to be?" Like they were getting mad. I was like, "Okay, this is going way over your head." You know. And I try and be understanding because they're not of that time either, right?
Mhm.
But guys like me and right? And so,
Yeah.
like what they were trying to say. But anyway, just like Harlem Nights, man. Harlem Nights is such a great movie.
Yeah. That was an awesome movie.
Della Reese, Della Reese uppercutted Eddie Murphy, man. I was like, oh, that's so. Della Reese looked like she could do it. That's why. Yeah, Della Reese
Oh
was
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. She did.
Yeah. But anyway, brother, you want to close out? You got anything to close out with? Or?
No, man, it was good to come in and hang out with you, brother Sega Forever, man. And I look forward to yeah, the podcast on Friday, man. I guess we'll get into more things then, but it was good to come on the podcast with you, man, and just talk about games. And then we got left a little bit and talked about other stuff, a little bit of pop culture or whatever. But it's good to come on, man, and do the show with you, man. Anytime you come on, I'll if I can make it there, I will. I'll be there to support, man. To make it to the Wrecking Crew podcast, man. That's yeah, yeah. I'm all in.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in. When I saw you
Yeah,
ask for the invite, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I guess because we don't when the other podcast, there's like so many of us in there. Right?
oh yeah, yeah,
It's hard to
yeah,
get
man.
your stuff off. So yeah, I would like to do this a little bit more often. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Give it.
you know what, Sega Forever? In closing, man, I just gotta tell our Xbox brethren out there, and even our Xbox girls out there. Look, we got this is a promising, this is a good looking road map of games and things that Xbox and Microsoft are doing for their fan base and their consumers, man. We got a lot of great things that are going to be coming out and things that we're beginning game wise. Yeah, some things have to change, okay?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, Phil Spencer is taking care, and Sarah Bond and Matt Booty and all them are taking care of the fan base of Xbox, man. There's no doubt. We have no doubts about Xbox. We might have a little bit, but I mean, in the long run, like they said, it's not going anywhere, man. It's still going to be Xbox. There's still going to be games that are exclusive. They just have to change a few things. They're just changing a few things, man.
Yeah,
And we got a lot to look forward to. Game Pass is just it's not getting smaller. It's getting bigger and bigger every day. It's a juggernaut, man. It can't be stopped. You know what I mean? We got a lot to look forward to, man. We do. A lot of games. Play those games. You play those games and download those games. You're supporting right there. So I mean, you know,
I think it's funny that even though the things that happen, like I'm on the same boat as you, Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's the way I am as well.
I hear you. Yeah.
But one thing that's interesting to me is that I don't think there's been a time within Game Pass history that we've been. I mean, I know there's a period of last year, like around mid to late in the year, where they probably had some of the. And I've always loved Game Pass, but I mean, that was
Yeah.
probably MVP months. But it's interesting to me, man, just how much stuff we got within these last 2 months, and I know some of it might have been because of the news and how people are taking it. And I think Microsoft is cognizant of that, Xbox
Yeah.
especially, so
Yeah.
that they have these things right or whatever they can do these kind of things, which should give. I mean, and look, dude. I mean, regardless of the situation, that should give you guys a little bit of understanding and hope, and should make you like somewhat happy that you have a company that can do it like this. Right? They dropped Dead Island. Was it Dead Island? Dead Island Two.
Dead Island 2. Yeah, that was like a man. That was like a bombshell. Nobody didn't see that coming. It just popped in there. That's another thing. They like popping games in there and not telling you. They surprise you. I like that. I like that they do that.
Well, I like to
That's
think
cool.
that I think what they did on that sense was that they did have it there, and then they did that to kind of quell some of the stuff going on. But just the fact that they can do that at all, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
That's what they did. And then again, the thing that was irritating me the most is when people look at what we're getting for the month and they all get into feelings, and I'm like, look, you guys, how long have you guys been on Game Pass? This is just the initial games that they're announcing.
Right.
By the end of the month, you'll be screaming uncle because just like me, you won't have time to play all the other games because they'll drop some bangers, which they do every month. Dude. They drop something every month that nobody expects, and that's not, it's of a high quality, right? And that's what's throwing everybody off with this thing, the haters at least. But for guys like us, we really should. It's just the greatest time to be an Xbox.
Definitely. 100%,
Yeah,
brother. Sega forever.
yeah. And then once these games start rolling in, right, and then when they don't go to the other consoles, right, then all of this, you look back at times like these and then realize it was all for naught. And then maybe you guys shouldn't listen to the media and shouldn't listen to these supposed influencers and insiders. Um, I don't think they have any type of. They might get some idea of something or what's going on and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, dude, it's Phil that makes the decision. Again, that's the one thing I didn't like about um, that
Yeah.
event they did, that update, that
Yeah.
business update. I mean, the fact that they named it business update to me should tell you. That's kind of like to me them telling you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it's kind of like you should not have been privy to that. Whoever leaked that stuff and whoever put that stuff out there, right? This is what happens when you put out stuff that's kind of half-assed, right? And not been fleshed out, right? Because there might have been some talk about. I'm not saying there might not have been some talk, but at the end of the day, dude, we're not in those meetings and we don't sit in these groups, and we
Yeah.
definitely have feels here.
Yep.
So that's why all I'm trying to say to people, man, to take everything with a grain of salt, with a big grain of salt, especially if you're on the Xbox. Because if you don't, man, what's going to happen to you? What's happened to like some of these warriors, right, or soldiers we had on our side? Dude, they fall off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, it's just weather the storm, and then when stuff happens, I'm kind of looking forward to Thursday in the sense of are we going to get a surprise, like what I think could happen. If what I think happens, dude, the whole internet is going to be on fire. Because I think maybe one of the reasons why Microsoft did the first volley was to shield other people that are going to do it.
Yeah.
Like they'll draw all the fire because they can because
Mm-hmm.
they're big. They're Microsoft. You know, they got it like that. Not just deep pockets, but they're just a massive beast. They're a behemoth. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why they did. I'm not saying. And again, guys, it's just me speculating. But I'm telling you, man, if some of this stuff happens that I think, it'll be a different world. It'll be a whole new ballgame.
Oh yeah.
And then some of these guys that left, dude. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold it against you, but you're gonna feel pretty bad, pretty dumb, if I'm being honest. And then some of these dudes, like I listen to Tim Dog, he's like, but if when I'm red, you're gonna do this. Like I'm like, no, I'm not. Don't tell me what I'm gonna do or not gonna do, bro. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for everybody else. I mean, I know I've been gaming way longer than you. I know I'm more hardcore gamer than you are. Like some of these dudes, man, they need to like. I look at them, I was like, bro, I try to be nice, man, but that's why I tweeted. Like the majority of these people are not gamers. They're just not. And if I'm being honest, dude, I say 90% of people are not gamers. Not like us, bro. Like I find it hard to believe that a lot of us would be like you, Sega Man, and could whip out like a ton of games and consoles, right? And do a 5 hour video showcasing what you have. It's just not the reality. But yeah, I ranted long enough. But keep the faith, guys. It'll be okay. I think I might change the. I think I gave people the wrong impression with that. That's fine. I'll roll with it. If you guys watch the video, you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, Sega Man, you still there, my brother? I think we might have lost Sega Man. Um, Again, he's on the East Coast. I'm all the way in the middle of the Pacific. But I'm gonna wrap it up, guys, because I gotta go. Appreciate you being here, Second Man. I want to shout out the chat, bro. Realist, thanks for being in, man. I didn't expect it to go as long as it is, but when I get an opportunity to talk to Second Man, I gotta take it, man. We the two most quietest on the podcast, so we definitely gotta get his intake, which I appreciate him being on there. I think I might start doing this with Second Man, just me and him. Xbox Insider, bro. I think this is the first time I saw you. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for keeping the faith, man. Keeping it 100% agree with you, man. 100% agree with you, man. Please don't think I'm falling off or I'm about to ditch my console because I'm not. Well, what I am gonna do, dude, this is though. I'm serious. This is my last go round when it comes to gaming, right? That's true. Fireboss, bro. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the other night on the podcast. Um, Pepe, man, I always appreciate you coming in. Thank you for being here. Um, don't want to forget anybody. Faded, bro. How can I forget Faded Blaze, man? What's up, brother? Thanks for being here as well. And I think I got everybody. Um, just let me do a quick. If I forget anybody, please forgive me. Oh, another zinc, man. I can't remember our brother, man. Um, yeah, but thanks everybody for being here, man. Uh, I might do another podcast. You know, we'll just do the All in Pop podcast. Yeah, I know we covered a lot of stuff that was outside of the realm of gaming tonight, but like I said, I enjoy talking about pop culture, dude. Especially with me and Sega Man, dude. We're on that old school. So if you like wrestling, dude, and you guys listen to that part, you guys understand what we were talking about, man. It's just good times all around. And so, but that's what we're going to be doing, man. We're going to do it all in pop, and we'll talk about pop culture in general, and we'll save it for that podcast. But anyway, man, Xbox All in China, whole Sega forever. We out.